what do you call them, aficionados or whatever. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming. I cannot believe Duke blew that lead. I really can't. They were up big. At the start of the second half, I thought it was going to be the game of the weekend, and it ended up being. But in that first half, it was all Duke. Boozer was dominant. They just looked like the better team and the team that's going to win a championship. But with them losing, I like this Final Four. UConn, Illinois should be a lot of fun. And then I think the winner of Arizona, Michigan is going to be the national champ. Both of those teams won by double digits or more in each one of their games heading in to the Final Four. I think they're the best two teams standing. They're playing the best. Cannot wait to see that Final Four matchup, Michigan and Arizona.
And so we're headed towards an exciting weekend of this Saturday. The Final Four will be taking place. Also, as far as the women's Elite Eight, of course, that'll be on Saturday. UConn will actually in the Elite Eight was Saturday. UConn took on Notre Dame. They won 70-52. And UCLA was all over Duke, 70-58.
Yeah. Great job by UCLA. They continue to make it, and UConn undefeated. They're trying to go 40-0, and it's crazy how many times Gina Auriemma has gone undefeated and won a national championship. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Gino just has a aura about him, man. It's just it's just crazy. I mean, he gets on the air and has just this stoic, facial expressions, and again, that he is accomplished. That he is women's basketball royalty. And you know what? He doesn't let you down because obviously his personality might not win him an Oscar, but he gets his point across.
Yeah, and he knows how to win. And the thing is now UConn has a chance to go men and women in the same year. That has not been done, DJ, since the UConn men and women did it in 2004. That was the year that Donna Taurasi's senior year. That was the year Emeka Okafor, Ben Gordon played and Jim Calhoun for the boys team. Can UConn do it this year?
Absolutely. Let's say good morning to all the folks out there on Facebook as well as YouTube, Ken. We were able to get that underway, and Thrift, good job.
Yeah, I'm not going to get defeated. I promise you that. I'll break the computer before it thinks it's going to beat me. I'll just throw you in the trash and get a new one before you can't get it up. But, yeah, we appreciate everyone watching YouTube, Facebook. We're live. Leave a comment below. Let us know you're up and running this morning.
All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll let you know who's on slate for the show today. We got an action-packed show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A Kendrick High School teacher was arrested on multiple counts of theft by deception. Muskogee County School District Police are investigating the situation. The teacher was released from his duties. In LaGrange, a 67-year-old man was airlifted to a nearby Columbus hospital after he was severely injured in a fight on 121 Turner Street. The LaGrange Police Department is urging anyone with information on the incident to contact them. Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals has upheld the conviction and death sentence of Jeremy Williams, who was found guilty in the 2021 murder of 5-year-old Kamari Holland. Now that Williams' first appeal is complete, the case could quickly move to the Alabama Supreme Court if the order is final. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Monday morning. We are off to a partly cloudy and mild start with those temperatures hovering right around 60 degrees. We are tracking a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the afternoon with those high temperatures approaching 80 degrees. Now, tonight, the clouds will stick around, partly cloudy and mild with those low temperatures falling to about 60 again. We are tracking some warmer temperatures this week as temperatures climb in the mid 80s. We're also introducing a few showers and storms, especially later this week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Baseball is back in the Chattahoochee Valley as the Columbus Clinkstones take on the Chattanooga Lookouts at Synovus Park April 3rd through the 5th with opening weekend presented by Charbroil. Celebrate opening night Friday with a rally towel giveaway presented by Sun Cruiser, plus post-game fireworks courtesy of Synovus. Saturday, Moe's Original Barbecue helps the Stones give away 1,000 magnet schedules, and if you miss it, we've got 1,000 more on Easter Sunday, which also features a pregame Easter egg hunt and postgame Kids Run the Bases. Get your tickets now at clinkstones.com.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Have you filed for disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 and 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact. We'll share our insider expertise and help you get your disability claim filed and paid immediately. There is a time limit to apply, so call right now. Operators are standing by to help you.
800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. 800-714-7917. That's 800-714-7917.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the...
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Every day, 12 children die from sepsis, more than from cancer. Most people don't know the word sepsis or the symptoms. Protect yourself and your loved ones. To learn more about the symptoms, go to sepsis.org.
Now back to the SportsVisions Morning Show. Here's Denver Broncos 1987 AFC champion DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. What a memorable Monday it is. Hey, big shout out to the Atlanta Braves. Jumped out to a 2-0 start. Yesterday they lost, unfortunately, to the Kansas City Royals in a closeout game, 4-1. But the Braves start out the season 2-1. And I tell you what, we're off and running, Thrift.
Yeah, we are, man. And listen, better than starting 0-7.
And yes, indeed. Okay. Got the Oakland A's coming into town and the Truist Park, man, for a few games. And I look for the Braves to actually take care of business. And I know that everybody was going in really holding their hands over their eyes, worried about the pitching staff and all the injuries. But, you know, I tell you, man, it's Walt Weiss and the gang. I know they're going to pull it together, but really a great showing right there in the first week of the season. And again, opportunity to get off to a great start indeed.
Yeah, it is, man. And listen, I just ask this, Braves fans, just breathe. Let's get through it. Let's have fun. The way I saw people reacting after that grand slam, which was but I'm like, y'all going to keep up this same energy for 160 games? Let's calm down, or y'all going to be passed out from exhaustion trying to keep up with this team. It's going to be a long year, but I like the start so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, it's a great opportunity for me to go ahead and once again, let everybody know that we're going to be honoring the top female athletes in the Chattahoochee Valley and East Alabama, West Central Georgia with Sports Vision's 11th Annual Female Athlete of the Year Awards Luncheon presented by Aflac. Of course, it's a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful relationship for 11 years. Aflac has stood the test of time and, of course, taking care of these young ladies and helped us allow, to let them go ahead and walk across the stage, be proud of what they're doing, let everybody know that we love them, that we appreciate them, and that, their work has not gone unnoticed. And again, we got some tremendous female athletes in this town, some tremendous sports teams, got some championship teams as well that be on slate, and looking forward. I got none other than the fabulous Kenya Sue Walton, who is one of the very best female athletes to have ever, in my estimation, in my humble opinion, have ever come from these parts. I mean, she's a tremendous, explosive athlete. And again, a lot of her records are still standing right now locally as well at the University of Tennessee, where she went to school, was an All-American multiple times. And, of course, just a tremendous opportunity for us to motivate our female athletes.
No doubt about it. You and Dale came up with this way back,
11
years ago. Unbelievable, man.
What's the math on that?
2015, man. The first year y'all did this. That was also the year that first time you had Nick Saban with the Football Awards Luncheon. Pretty good year, DJ, I would say the least. But that kind of opened up a lot of doors in the Pandora's box of shining a light on women's sports that, before anyone else did. And I'm glad that I've been a part of this. And last year we get viral with all the girls being able to walk across stage, strutting their stuff, being proud of how they look. And that's one thing you never have to worry about with the Female Awards Luncheon. Every one of these girls are going to be dressed for success. And by the way, only DJ can pull out a legend like Sue Walton. And saw a post from Ohio State. They put up their football program staff. And I don't know if this was already known or not, but I was surprised by it. So that's why I just want to say it, that our guy Tim Walton, now co-defensive coordinator. He's always been the associate head coach, but I saw the co-defensive coordinator title added on it right underneath Matt Patricia, and I think that's a big deal for Tim, and look forward to seeing how they're going to do this year with Ohio State.
Absolutely. Definitely a huge deal for Tim, but even a bigger deal for Sue. And, of course, she has been, doing her thing, raising her kids. She has a D1 athlete as well, and her husband is a, coach with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, linebacker coach. And he's been a career coach after playing in the league as well. But Sue, is a very, very special person because she has very, very special parents. Both Felix and Shirley Walton, have the pillars in the community and have been around. And those of us who have been, watching and covering sports in this community for a while, those names are synonymous with success. Those names are synonymous with just being superior. I mean, excelling at the highest level. I mean, two wonderful parents, that have done a great job here in the community, and then also their kids excelling at the highest level. Tim in professional sports as well as collegiate coaching, and then of course Sue, and with all of the wonderful feats that she's had, and again raising a kid. Now she has a kid in, and then she has also two other daughters that played at the University of Penn basketball. So a very, very talented family. But looking forward to having Sue on stage with the Fireside Chat, to chop it up not only from a standpoint of being a parent, but also, of course, having a legacy of so much success and raising kids in the footsteps of you. And again, everybody know all the greatness, but again, you got to keep your kids level headed, because everywhere you read, you see mom she has this record and that record, and won and was a multiple All-Americans and all conferences, and all of a sudden now her children are expected to do the same. And then it got the same thing on the other side with her dad, being a former pro football player and a coach now in the National Football League. But yeah, interesting. A lot of the different directions we can go in as far as sharing sharing Sue's life and legacy.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she'll be able to speak to these young ladies at the awards luncheon coming up in 2 weeks, man. That's also when the Lions will kick off. We got them. We got the Clinkstones coming up, and SportsVisions Female Awards luncheon. What a time right now. And then the weather is absolutely beautiful, so hopefully that continues as well.
Absolutely. So on that 16th, Thursday the 16th, down at St. Luke at 11:30, you can catch the Female Athlete of the Year Awards luncheon. And then, of course, that evening, the Columbus Lions will be kicking off. So that'll be the same day.
Yeah, Tonio Armani is the guy that's going to be the entertainment for the night. So that will be going on. And I'm also the Clinkstones have a game that day. So that's going to be a busy time down at the Civic Center. So if you're planning on going to the game, may want to get there early, DJ.
Let me go ahead and give you the lineup right quick. Obviously, Scott Williams with the SEC Network is going to be with us. For those of you who've been with us there, you know who Scott is. He has a very, very instrumental job with the, of course, the SEC Network. He's also on the UGA Alumni Board of Directors, which puts him in high cotton. This guy has done an amazing job of course, excelling at the highest level in everything he's done since he's left the University of Georgia. Also, he was a model student at the University of Georgia, former classmate of mine. A member of that class of 1980 signing class that included Herschel Walker, Freddie Gilbert, Terry Hogue, and the likes. But Scott, again, he's taken it to another stratosphere with regards to his involvement with the SEC Network. And again, we normally come talk to Scott during the football season, but there's the SEC is a full service, all seasons business that they have again, and we'll have an opportunity to understand and try to learn a little bit about the other parts, the other sports, how they're laid out, how they're considered, what decisions are made, and also the programming of ESPN and SEC Network as it pertains to some of the fall sports and actually spring sports. And, because again, we all get into this football mode, but we got to realize and understand with basketball just coming 10 teams represented in the NCAA tournament with, of course, with the SEC, again, how does that affect? What is that? What's your involvement? Do you need to be on boots on the ground at the regionals and all the things that are going on? But that's a plethora of questions that we can ask Thrift on behalf of the Sports Visions Nation.
Yeah, I can't wait to have Scott on to be able to break that down and revenue-generating sports after basketball. How's baseball? How's softball? The sports that are going on now, and what are they looking forward to for this upcoming year as well?
Also, one of the local favorites who is taking the city on by storm has a new phenomenon. It's called flag football for kids. And, of course, he's, with double coverage. Jerome Bryant will be with us at 7 o'clock to give us an update because, again, man, that is it's taking on a life of its own, man. These kids and youth flag football, and I understand that they have more kids that they can handle. They're actually looking for coaches and obviously space, because these parks that they are going to be performing in might not have enough seating and enough capacity to hold all these people.
Yeah, that's a great point, DJ. And I'm wondering, and I've seen it too, there is a huge following for this flag football. He got on the trend as this is one of the hottest growing sports around, and glad that they started a developmental program leading into middle school that we have around here. And then we also got the high school. I think we're one of the leaders in the state in high school flag football as well. So glad that Jerome can get this going and look forward to talking to him.
Also, fresh off of the broadcast of the NBA, of course, Classic out at Columbus State yesterday, Drew Pavon, the sports director at WTVM, he'll be with us, and we'll get him to break down all the action. Of course, this is some of the top basketball players from the military bases throughout the country. And again, right here in Columbus, Georgia, at the, of course, Lumpkin Center, the beautiful Lumpkin Center, over the weekend. Looking forward to hearing those reports.
I am definitely looking forward to hearing those reports, DJ, and I can't wait to see what the turnout was at Columbus State University for that Military Basketball Association.
And last but not least, he's the former beat writer for the Auburn Tigers. And, of course, he was with the Auburn Opelika News. And, of course, he's worked for a number of outlets throughout the country. His name is Nubias Wilborn. And, again, I am excited to talk to Nubias. We hadn't talked to him in a few weeks, but he has some interesting takes.
Always does. And we're in on a plethora of topics, and who knows what's going to come up when we're with Nubias.
All right, let's go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk to Scott Williams with the SEC Network. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 SportsVisions 921. This is the SportsVisions Morning Show.
Still doing this, Andre? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Check me out. It's still Dre Day, AK. Though I've grown a lot, can't keep it home a lot. Cause when I frequent the spots that I've known.
You are listening to the SportsVisions Morning Show. SportsVisions 92.1.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right? It's comfortable. So how's civilian life treating you? It's fine. When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine. But if you're not, it's okay. Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
We got out of Washington State, and I think a week after, state went on lockdown for COVID.
So then when we transitioned to Texas, it was very much so what are we going to do now?
Operation Homefront has allowed our family to make something of ourselves again in the world after the military.
It's completely changed the way our life is. It took us from a hopeless situation, and now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. I'm the first one to own a home out of my siblings.
Visit operationhomefront.org to learn more.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint, and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This message is brought to you by TogetherWeServed.com, a leading online community of over 2.3 million veterans. TogetherWeServed.com provides all veterans an easy way to stay connected, share in the camaraderie of other veterans, and remember their service. Using its search engine, veterans can find people they served with and get in touch. If you served, visit TogetherWeServed.com.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
Covering local and national sports. This is the SportsVisions Morning Show on SportsVisions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
I just got the key, they let me in. No ID, doors opening up for me, and now I see. I've been blind for a
Good
while.
Monday morning, and welcome back to the SportsVisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer in the building. Big shout out to Bobby Brown this morning, who's listening in his truck. Also, Stanley Crowell, we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day day started. Good morning, Ricky Rogers. I tell you, man, he's on it. These guys are out of the blocks, and we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started, Drew.
Yeah, Ricky Rogers. I had him and Mike Frost on yesterday.
Yeah.
When you think of evil guy, you know, the evil guy's usually kind of the shorter guy, and then his henchman's is 6'5". And Ricky loved it too. If you go back and watch Georgia Alabama Sports Live, he is so much bigger than me and Ricky. It's funny. I'm like, he's like your evil henchman, man. You snap your fingers. But we appreciate Ricky, downtown Bobby Brown, and of course Stanley Crowell.
You mentioned the word bigger. I don't know if they get any bigger than this. This guy's a rising star in the Disney Corporation. He's my friend. Of course, he is your friend as well. Welcome to the show from the SEC Network, Scott Williams. Good morning, Scotty. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, guys, man. It's always good to have a good hype man. B, what's up, brother?
Scott, you know I love you, my man.
Hey, man. You
DJ Jones.
Yes, sir. You rocking that red, fella. Is that Bulldog red or is that Nuke red?
Yeah. Yeah, today is Bulldog red.
Okay, cool.
But the Noose always get a shout out.
No doubt. Yo, five. Check this out,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I know that most of the time folks are saying, well, Scott usually deals with us during football season. But Scott, we're here to show and prove that, you have an important part of what you do for the SEC Network, the Disney company. However, the SEC Network, as you are involved, is not just all about football. Help us understand other things that you're called to do.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're year-round. Any sport that's played year-round within the Southeastern Conference, hey, we handle it all. And it's not just football. But, of course, football is the moneymaker. Don't mistake that at all. It is the moneymaker. But we have incredible men's and women basketball teams, volleyball. Oklahoma is like freaking the monster softball team winning everything. All of the other Olympic athletic sports, man, we have. It's awesome. And this time of the year, we had a tremendous showing. With the SEC teams into the NCAA tournament. We've got 2 women standing now, and I think all of the men have been eliminated.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a knockdown drag out. We're going to have South Carolina versus UConn.
Oh, yeah.
And Texas versus UCLA on the women's side.
Right.
Hey, man, it doesn't get any better. I was down in Greenville, South Carolina for the women's tournament, and I watched. A lot of people called it an upset. Texas upset South Carolina, and Dawn Staley was ticked off. And so they went in one direction in the NCAA tournament, and Texas has gone in the other direction. And, man, wouldn't that be something sweet if both of them could meet in the championship game?
Woo!
South Carolina beats UConn and Texas beats UCLA. And then you have an all SEC women's championship. That's what we're hoping, man. That's what we're hoping.
No doubt about it, Scott. But when we're talking revenue generating sports, and you put basketball in there, obviously football, but this time of year, when you're going to your advertisers, your sponsors, I'm nowhere near at the level you're at, but I'm talking about high school sports. When we go talk to sponsors, like, well, we want to wait till football season. How do you get them to buy in? Like, hey, no, people watch softball, people watch baseball. These athletes need support. How do you get those corporate sponsors to buy into what we consider the slower months, even though I think there's more sports being played in the spring? How do you go about that process, Scott?
TB, man, it's real simple. I go in and I ask them, I don't care what your product is, whether you're selling widgets, you're selling cars, flights, or whatever you're selling. If you only want to sell it during football season, how will your business survive?
Right. Good fact.
It won't. So your share of voice needs to occur throughout the entire year. You need to have your product and your share of voice out there, so when people need your product, they think of you and your product. And they can't do that if you're not constantly on the air. So we encourage, matter of fact, all of our 15 official sponsors are on year round.
Right.
And they set the table for everyone else on our network. We have approximately 127 advertisers on at any one given time. And they set the stage for them all. Our 15 official sponsors anchor the entire network, and they go year round in every sport and they understand being out there so that when I think of, man, I need a plumber. Oh, okay. I heard plumber on 92. Oh, yeah, on the Sports Vision. Let me give them a call. And that's how it happens when you're fresh and top of mind and your share voice is out there constantly. So, hey, that's how you do it. Remind them. People need your product year round, so you need to be on air and spreading your message year round.
Great point.
Scotty, when you talk about obviously getting this message out all over the country to all of your regions, all of your SEC cities, again, it takes a tremendous team effort. And you know what? You're only as good as your team. And I know that I don't care what coach, I don't care what leader, I don't care what sales director, you have to have a team. And talk about, again, obviously for you guys to do what you do, you have an extremely wonderful team.
Man, I'm so proud of my crew, man. Hey, any good coach will tell you that they are a better coach because of the players that they have. And I'm the same way. My account executives and my team that go out and hit the streets, and they bring me in as the hammer, the closer to help them get it done. I'm better because of what they do out there. They cultivate, they seek, they find, they connect. And the most important thing that they do is that they build long-term, mutually beneficial relationships. And they go out and they talk to people first, find out what they like, find out who they are, find out about their business, find out what makes them tick and what makes them successful. And then you start to understand their business before you ever start to sell them anything at all. Because many of the relationships they go out there and they make, it's not necessarily a good fit. And so we don't try to force a square peg into a round hole. There has to be a need. There has to be a value proposition that's been created by the situation from the client and from what we have. And then we build that relationship and then we make it make sense. And then we find the uniqueness of what the strategy is so that they can be successful. When we're able to connect their business to the passion of the SEC fans, it's an explosion. And that's exactly what you guys do. The power of your radio show, the power of your network, the power of your community, when it's all connected together, it makes sense for the consumers to go out and consume the products of your advertisers. And that's how we do it, man. And that's how we need to continue to get it done. It's a successful pattern, and I work it to the best.
Scott, I just heard a key word. You know, when I hear a key word, it makes me, my ears start perking up. And you say relationships.
Yes, sir.
This is my just very limited experience, but I like trying to become their friend and getting to know them. When I first walk into a meeting, I'm not talking straight numbers with anyone. I'm not saying, hey, this is what I'm offering. Where are you from? Where's your family? I usually got some background information. I can ask them if they got a kid playing in a team like, man, he's doing really well. I see his numbers. Where's he looking to go to college? Talk about the relationship part. For those young and upcoming podcasters, anyone trying to go out and get advertising, you don't just walk up to a business, say, hey, here are my packages, will you buy, and expect them to be able to want to join in. It don't work like that.
Hey, man, back in my day, they would run you out the door if you came in like that, man. It is so important to build relationships. Obviously, you try to do your homework before you go in so you can understand any information about the company that you're communicating with and understand the business and some of the trends and the things, if there have been any articles about them. But once you hit the door and you make eye contact with the people in the meeting, you start to build relationships, man, and they feel your energy. Right. Trust me, if you come in there and you have energy, you have a smile on your face, that energy and your smile, it permeates the room. And then they open up and they feel better. And then what you want them to do is to disclose. You want them to give you that tidbit that they hold close to their chest that really makes them tick, that really makes their business successful, that really gets them excited when somebody comes in and they find that thing that's close to their heart that they really care about. If you don't dig and ask and search and prod and build, you won't ever get that information. If you're straight to the books and you to the numbers and you skip all of the front stuff, that's a vital mistake. That's why I tell my team, I don't want you just pitching and presenting. I want you, every chance you get, to reach out and contact and communicate those advertisers, even if it's not about the business. You might see something, you might see an article. Hey, man, I saw this. They're talking about how Aflac has become the #1 insurance company in the world. Thought you might like this article. Have a great day. And if you know about their family, hey, does Bobby have a game this weekend? I'm off. I'm looking for something to do. Would love to come hang out and see him play. When you do things like that, man, that's true and genuine. They feel it, they know it, and they understand it. And that is the basis for a great relationship, and great relationships drive revenue.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Scotty, those techniques and those philosophies and those, those ways of doing business for you, Hidden just put you as one of the prized pupils in this Disney corporation. This puts you, again, you started with the, Turner Broadcasting and the Braves, and you've done a number of things. How, go through those steps from the start to pretty much to where you are now, is how you felt yourself ingratiating yourself into the business and learning and maturing as you moved on.
Yeah, man, I cut my teeth. I cut my teeth selling copiers out of the back of a truck with Lanier Worldwide. Wow. I'm just fresh out of the NFL, and I had some homeboys and folks looking at me like, "Whoa, wait a minute, man! I just saw you on TV. You were in the NFL. Now you selling copiers out the back of your truck?" I'm like, "Yes, I am," because my research told me at the time Lanier Worldwide had the best sales training program in the country. So I identified them and I said, I'm going to go through their process. And I am, going to sell copiers out the back of my truck along with other office supplies and equipment. And that's what I did. And that's where I cut my teeth. And then I moved on and I had so much success doing that. And I learned how to acquire new business. No matter where you go, if you're in sales, if you know how to acquire new business, you can live, breathe, and thrive. And so I reached out to my contacts. Next thing you know, I'm connected with Turner Broadcasting. Boom, after a 9-month interview process, they tortured me. They took me through the ringers a little bit. But after 9 months, I landed with Turner Broadcasting. And then I really take off. And then I end up managing the CNN portfolio. And then I jumped from Turner Broadcasting over to managing corporate partnership with the Atlanta Braves for 5 years. And when I was working with Turner Broadcasting, I helped Ted, me and a bunch of folks, and Jim Williams included, one of my mentors, was on the launch of 2 networks with Ted Turner at that time. Well, the people at ESPN knew I had all of that in my background, and they were like, "Hey, man, why don't you come over? And we're thinking about this SEC network thing. Keep it quiet, but we want you to come in and talk to us about that." And I had such an incredible blueprint, a strategy, a plan in my mind that Jim Williams helped me take from my mind and put on paper and build a blueprint for the launch of the SEC network and how I would go to market and what I would do and the revenue that I would drive. They were truly impressed and said, "Hey, man, can you come on in and help us with this gig?" I was 7 days from vesting with the MLB. And the guy at ESPN said, "Hey, man, I need you now." Wow. I'm like, I need 7 days. He said, no. We are behind on this launch process. We need you now. I left with 7 days needed to vest in the MLB, man, and jumped over and took the job at ESPN and the SEC network. And since then worked on the launch of the ACC network as well. And I have a manager managing that property for me. And it's been a beautiful ride. I think about that vesting and that money as the closer I get to retirement, but it's like, you know what, man? It's all good, though. I don't regret it one bit moving forward the way I did.
Scotty Williams is our guest this morning on the SportsVisions Morning Show. And Scott has just done a wealth of things with regards to sports. Of course, you know him from the University of Georgia, the pride and joy of Mecklenburg County, and of course, North Carolina, Charlotte, that is. And of course, in the NFL for the St. Louis Cardinals as well as the Detroit Lions. And Scotty, when you mentioned the word vest, now we got a large number of people out there that realize what that means. But can you explain to the folks like me and Thrift, obviously, what that, when you say vest, what that mean?
Yeah, so when you put in a certain number of years of service with the Major League Baseball, if you're on the roster as a player, if you're in management or sales in the upper office, corporate office with a Major League Baseball team, after you work 5 years, you become vested, which means you become available to receive a pension when you retire based on the number of years of service that you've put in and the number of teams that you were with. And so you could put in a combination of 5 years for the front office with multiple teams, or you could put in 5 years with one individual team. But once you hit that marker, you would qualify for receiving a pension upon retirement when you submit your paper saying, hey, I'm officially retired, I'm done, would love to start receiving my pension, which would be X number of dollars per month based on the number of years of service that you've put in with that Major League Baseball team or Major League Baseball in general. And so that's how you become vested. That's how you get some additional retirement money in addition to your 401k or your other self plans that you have out there. And I missed it by 7 days.
Dang.
Yes.
Scotty, as you sit here and talk and I reflect, just last Monday, I celebrated my 64th birthday. You were a member of the University of Georgia recruiting class of 1980 with myself. And I'm sitting here like, it was just, 40 odd years ago. And now we're talking about vested and pensions. My God. I mean,
hey, man. How long? Hey, man, we've come a long way, my friend. And belated happy birthday, man. Sorry I missed that.
No problem.
But, man, sometimes I reminisce with myself, and I don't say it out loud, but I keep thinking about, if we had 5 stars, and I might have said it once upon a time on your show before, but if we had 5 stars back then, DJ, we probably had at least 13 5 stars on our recruiting class. At least
25, 30 signed players.
So we had 30, and that was the class that broke the mold because we had 28 African American players.
Right. Yes.
We had Tommy Lewis and Terry Hogue, I think. And of course everybody remembers the name Terry Hogue, who was an All-American, played in the league probably 14 years, and Tommy Lewis, who went on to be a pilot and is doing wonderful things. But you think about the 1971 class that had the first 5, and then the next class had 2, and then the next, meaning African-American players, had 4, and then the next class had 3. And then I think Coach Dooley said, well, okay, this seems to be working out. We finally broke the barrier in 71. We're adding more African-American players. Well, our class was the one that went to 28. We had 28 African-American players in that. And DJ, we probably had double-digit number of guys off of that team to play in the NFL, probably in the 13 to 15 range. If you think about the USFL and the NFL combined, we had an incredible class. I mean, just freaking phenomenal. And people that don't know your background, hey guys, hey, go do some research. Dude behind the mic over there was a bad man, not only in football. I hear you guys coming back from the break and they talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates and the baseball draft that you could have gone that way. But you also played basketball and you did track and field and you did a little bit of everything. You were just one of the more phenomenal athletes to ever come out of the state of Georgia, man. And people don't realize that. But I saw it in person. I saw you running and moving and making our number 1 defense in the nation look bad in practice. Holy smoke. And then got in and got some snaps at quarterback as an African-American player back in the early 80s. Whew, man, that is strong, brother. That is strong. Tip my hat, man. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You can send me the invoice too. You got my email address. Just email that.
Hey, that's that relationship we built since 79, 80.
That's it. Exactly. We got enough time, and I want you to expound a little bit more. Again, we talked about your career, but your position with the UGA alumni, of course, as a board of director member. Talk to us a little bit about that. What's the significance of that?
Man, I believe in giving back. The University of Georgia has been so good to me, and it was the foundation of me moving forward in the work community, being who I am. A lot of how I developed obviously came from my parents and my dad and the discipline that he gave me. But I moved on to the University of Georgia, and Vince Dooley had that same type of discipline. It was tough, it was rough, it was hard. But that's what I was used to, man. And so I just always had in my heart that when I have a chance to get back to the university, I would. And so I on the sports council board at the University of Georgia, and I'm on the alumni board of the University of Georgia. And I continue to give back and reach out to the community and reach out to future students that would like to attend the University of Georgia and students that have been accepted. Work with the sports council when we reach out to a lot of athletes. We do scholarships, man, so that we can help, fund the regular student athletes that might come and walk on and come and want to participate in sports at the University of Georgia. And we offer scholarships for regular students as well. So I think it's just really important for me to stay connected with the University of Georgia and give back in that manner by serving on those boards and trying to do the best I can to help serve the community and do well and good things for students coming into that school, university.
Scotty, you surely make South Mecklenburg proud, of course, and you make me proud, man. Hey, listen, keep doing what you're doing, man. You are, you're a shooting star. You're a shooting star, but I'm going to keep saying it. You're that guy in the Disney Corporation we need to keep our eye on, man, because look, one day you might end up running the whole kit and caboodle. Hey,
man.
You take care of yourself, man. Hey, have a great rest of your morning.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for always having me on. Thanks.
All right. Scotty Williams, y'all. Yeah, I tell you, that's how things happen, man. I mean, just like that. This guy was just what they considered just a jock. Now this jock is with one of the most powerful companies in the world, making big moves, major moves.
Yeah, excellent interview. Thank you, Scott. Love to see you, man. Can't wait to see you next year during football season.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
This is Riley Green with Boot Barn, sharing a deep respect for the cowboy way. Growing up, my dad and granddad showed me what a true cowboy spirit looked like. They'd be up before dawn working with their hands. They taught me to grab the heavy end of a job and always do the right thing and shake hands like you mean it. That grit, that honesty and pride, that's what it means to be a cowboy. Riley Green and Boot Barn, proudly honoring the cowboy way.
Attorney advertising, Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dogs does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
You say you hate these commercials. Get into an accident. I bet you won't hate these commercials no more. I bet you be saying call the dog. You know why? Because you know that dog bite. That's why. You really love the commercials. Tell the truth. You be in the car and your kids be like, turn it up, Mom. What you gonna do if that dog chase you? What you gonna do, Mom? He gonna bite, Mom. He gonna bite. Now you sitting there nodding your head to it like, top dog, top dog. Top dog law. Then you go home and write a post about us. Say you hate them commercials. How could you? How dare you? What you wanted some attention? Any accident, make the call. Top dog law.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community. living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA disability compensation is a monthly tax-free payment to veterans who got sick or injured in the military and to veterans whose service worsened an existing condition. You may qualify for VA disability compensation for physical and mental health conditions that developed or worsened due to service. Learn more at va.gov/disability.
Staples presents That Was Easy. So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures. Everything and then some. I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus. One money pit with a side of fries. But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders. $125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples. That was easy. Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA disability compensation is a monthly tax-free payment to veterans who got sick or injured in the military and to veterans whose service worsened an existing condition. You may qualify for VA disability compensation for physical and mental health conditions that developed or worsened due to service. Learn more at va.gov/disability.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021. WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Good Monday morning and welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer in the building. It's a memorable Monday, Thrift, and just like that, we're getting the week started.
Yeah, it is, man. And I want to shout out a guy that has commented, Gerald Bedgood. Every time. So the other week, I do my normal thing. I go from Glenwood to Calvary to Smith Station. I want to make sure all the broadcasts are going good. And at 2 of the 4 spots, I see Gerald Bedgood. I said, Gerald, how are you moving faster than me when you're as old as you are, brother? Love him, love what he does, and love what he represents. And appreciate you, Gerald Bedgood, as always.
Absolutely. And again, we want to shout out Bobby Brown this morning for listening, Stanley Crowell as well as, of course, and, Ricky Rogers. Ricky Rogers doing his thing. I know he is excited because, again, we are days away from opening day at Synovus Park.
I couldn't calm him down last night. I literally was like, Rick, jeez, like, hold on, man. But it's a good time. And I'm putting this PSA out right now real quick, DJ.
Yep.
For those semi-professional fans. Remember why we have the Lions, the River Dragons, and the Clingstones. More specifically, the Clingstones. I think they're there, as Pete Lavin likes to say. He cares about the entertainment, the fan experience. It's all about the community and people enjoying their time. The product on the field, yeah, we want them to win. But in the end, let's not forget why we have this here. It's something to do in this area. Fun, family, fun.
Absolutely. And once again, I want to shout out Scott Williams, again, with the SEC Network. And Scott makes it sound so eloquently. He makes it sound so smooth. But that's years and years of actually being involved, of course, thriving and excelling at a high level. And it's a great opportunity. It's great. He's a great presenter. But don't get it twisted. Don't think for 1 minute that it's easy, folks. He is in the professional league of sales and marketing now, much like the NFL, the NBA, the Major League Baseball. And he's gone through years of training. And you know what? You say, well, I want to be like that. Kid Thrift, we were kind of talking about that during the break. Everybody all of a sudden that wants to do a radio, TV, or a podcast, they want all the things to come with that up front. But it's a lot that you have to learn on the run. It's a lot that you have to earn over the period of some time of building your business.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And relationships, that is, DJ, I cannot harp on that anymore.
Yeah.
You have to build relationships. I learned that from you. When I watch you deal with sponsors, coaches, you get to know them. You joke around. You don't just go straight to business. And if you think you're just going to go straight to business with someone, I don't know what you're selling, because I don't know, unless it's like gold and people just have to have it, you got to build a relationship before they buy into anything that you got.
Absolutely. Speaking of buying into something, this guy here is on to something. Our next guest, his name is Jerome Bryant, and of course, you know him from Double Coverage. Jerome Bryant, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, everyone. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, check this out. Congratulations, man. I was in the grocery store yesterday, and I saw one of my old high school and middle school buddies, and he was telling me about, going out to support, and he's going to be cooking. He and a buddy are cooking for, some youth football, flag football league. And he was telling me how it's growing and all. And I, in the back of my mind, I listened to him because he was enthusiastic about it. Oh man, he was just about to pop at the seams. And I said, "You're talking about Jerome Bryant?" Yeah, that's him. That's him. So congratulations, man. Sounds like you guys are off to a spectacular start.
Hey, I must say we are, man. This is one of the biggest years we've had. We have over 350 girls.
Wow.
And the competition has got even greater. The girls are really buying into it, and they really love it. But the main thing is it's the coaches in the community that's really helping me put this together. I tend to get the most credit because I'm at the top. But I don't want to take all the credit because I know I can't do it without the coaches in the community and the parents in the community.
Now, speaking about coaches, obviously I'm understanding that you got an all call for coaches out there because, again, you said over 300 kids. And is that a situation where you're looking for coaches and other volunteers?
Well, we're always looking for coaches, right? And volunteers to help the program. But, when you're dealing with girls, you got to make sure it's the right people. What I can say about the coaches and the presidents I have in my league, they coach, sometimes some of them coach all the teams. Some of them coach 2 or 3 teams. So whatever they have to do in order to give these kids, the girls, the opportunity to play, they do that. But we always looking for the right volunteers and coaches to help.
Yeah, Jerome, man, I've been blown away. I've just seen from social media, opening day, and everybody and their mom, it seemed like in the community was out and about. And that is the positivity that you keep pushing in this community, which is what I love. What got you with the idea about bringing flag football? You've always been a big proponent of it, and you knew that this was one of the fastest growing sports in America, but you're really killing it here. I feel like other counties and other areas are going to start taking note of it and trying to copy you, man.
Well, I never look at copy, right? Because, it's more than one gas station. It's more than one fast food restaurant. So it's going to always be somebody in your lane. I'm just so happy got in the lane first. It was really me and my brother, Darius Alexander, when we seen girls start taking off within, the community with Jeff Battle, which he started the first girls flag football here in Columbus. So, when we seen it, it was something that we wanted to bring to the youth as well. And then we had already been doing boys flag. So we was like, this is something that's new, that's going on. We wasn't too sure if it was going to catch on as fast as it did, but it did. It really did, and it spread it like wildfire.
Jerome, I know one thing is for sure is that we want all of our kids to be safe and be in a safe environment and obviously be in an environment where they can thrive physically and mentally. But our little girls is an extra show of care there. When, let's expound a little bit on that, because again, we got some people out there that are in a position to, of course, accommodate you with regards to helping you, and of course, as far as volunteers and coaches. So I know that there's a background check and all, but I'm saying I want to do this for the parents so that they will know that, in order to be a part of this particular league, you have to, have a certain criteria when you consider yourself a coach or a volunteer.
Right. So with CYF, Columbus Youth Football, we have something that's called we have to do something like a state background where we have to go through a national system where you check your driver license all the way through the whole USA. So basically, most of my coaches come from CYF. The same guys that coach with CYF, they help me with girls flag. And then after girls flag, we have boys flag. So really, like in our community of coaches, we pretty much have the same coaches that coach flag football, basketball, regular football, baseball. I mean, you'll be amazed at some of the volunteers. Some of these coaches coach all year round, so but the curriculum is also, like I said, is to check a thorough check of the background. I've been in the community a lot. Majority of the people I know by firsthand, but my presidents are over the coaches that's within their league, if that makes sense to you.
Yes.
So they make sure that they have the right people that's coaching for their individual league. And I make sure I have the right people over top of each individual league.
I know that flag football came on the scene in a big way. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, was the first one that I know of that really was pushing youth flag football.
Right.
And, I know there's some grants out there and different types of things that are available with you, and of course the tremendous attention that you're attracting. Do you have means to contact or reach out, or because again, I know that with what you're doing, if somebody on that level, or not necessarily Arthur Blank, but someone in the National Football League that is in charge of that flag football program, have you already reached out to those folks?
Well, what we got planned in the future, I kind of like to keep, within until it happen in the future. I don't really kind of like to put out that kind of information. But what I can say, this year, we're working something with the Columbus Lions, with Roger Beck and Corey Black. That maybe we can get something in the inside and kind of go with the Columbus Lions. That's something I give you that. But as far as, reaching out, the biggest expansion to what we're doing, I want to kind of keep that into it, get into that formation step before we put it out.
Good deal. Now, again, with regards to who you are attracting, meaning, again, these are age groups that start from, what age to what age? Give us the criteria of what you're looking for as far as having the kids participate.
Okay. So when we first started, it was quite small. We did 7 through 13. But now that it has grown, we're actually from 6U all the way up to high school. And the mission and goal is to kind of prepare these girls, the ones that haven't made it to middle school and high school, to have the understanding of the game when they do get to middle school and high school. In the previous years, coaches been getting girls that don't even have an understanding of the game. And then you're trying to teach them that within a season that's not long. So what we're trying to do is kind of like a feeder program, is kind of have the girls prepared and ready for them going up to the next level, to middle school and high school. And now with it being such a new sport, it gives the girls a better opportunity as far as scholarships to help them with their education. So this is another lane to expand for the girls as far as educational wise with sponsorships and different things like that.
Midland was where the host site for week 1. I know opening day was at Memorial. Is Midland for the rest of the regular season where the place is going to be for the next few weeks for your season?
As of now, yes, sir. I see that we're growing kind of hard. I'm thankful for Midland for them letting us use their field and their property. As of now, right now, if anything changed, it'll be put out. We have actually 5 weeks left. It was the beginning. we would love to have Georgia, Alabama, live come out there one time, man, and
Jerome, you know I will be there.
yeah, and put it on showcase for the city so that we can bring out more and more people to the crowd. Let them see that we have something actually going on good in the city. But Midland right now is the home for us as of right now.
Jerome Bryant is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show, and Jerome Bryant is officially the president of what is the name of the flag league officially?
Columbus Girls Flag Football.
Love it.
Really simple, nice, sweet, to the point. Now, again, in parting, I know that you have a number of fundraisers and people that really, really want to help you. But obviously, if you, as the president of this organization, the president of this league, what is the most important thing that you need from the community?
Support.
That's it. You don't want to break it down? I mean, obviously, if you need donations, if you need some people to come help you cook, support is big, but you got to get direct, brother. You got to
Okay, let me be direct. I don't need no sponsorships. I'm not asking for any money. The biggest thing I'm asking for is just to come out and support. Just come out and watch the girls play. That's what matters to me. That's it. Just come out and watch the girls play. Money wise and sponsorship wise, the people that want to help, they go help. I heard when I was coming in, I was talking about sponsorships, especially as far as radio and media. And you were making great points that people don't understand. It's easy to get into radio. But as far as going out there and selling radio, is a whole different aspect and monster. I was able to do it for 3 years.
Right.
So, it looked easy on paper. But once you had to go door to door and get out there and sell it,
right,
it's a whole different monster. But I have a couple of relationships with people from my time being in marketing and selling radio. I have a strong background that if I do need any kind of support or anything financially, I can go there versus coming out to the community. If anything, I just want them to come out and see these girls do what they do because they love it. That's the biggest thing.
Jerome, we appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do for this community. And it seems like everything you touch, every league that you're a part of, you do a great job of doing what? Shining a light and giving exposure to the athletes. It's not that you don't say it's all Jerome Bryant. I do it myself. Every time I talk to you, it's about, hey, man, support these kids. And we appreciate what you do here. I mean, you are a bright spot in this community.
Absolutely. Sports Visions, Sports Alabama, we all are a bright spot in this community. We're doing something great, at the end of the day. Any kind of way we putting the platform out here for the kids is something positive, so we're doing it all together. Like I said, I don't like to take all the credit. Right. I would never take the credit because it takes a group, it takes a community to do something. Yes, you see my name on it. You see all the different things that applying and going with it, but it's never all me. Because like I said, I can't do it without the parents. I can't do it without the coaches that I have and the people that I have around me. So it's a team effort always, always, always.
Jerome, my final question or statement, if you will, is that I know with the recent surge and the phenomenon of youth flag football, are the facilities going to be big enough? Do you have enough venues and big enough venues to actually conduct your business?
DJ, you know how to ask the right questions, brother. You know how to ask the right questions, man. As it grows, like you're saying, that's something I'm working on to kind of figure out. I would hate to split it up at different venues because there's so many girls that have sisters, right. So, and trying to pull parents in 2 different places is insane. But something is in planning to make it to where we have a big enough space and location where everybody can kind of be in their own space.
Well, look, man, we appreciate having you on, and I just love the fact that you guys are, blowing up, man, and blowing up again, and another division of what you do with cause double coverage. But at the end of the meantime, man, keep doing what you're doing and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Jerome.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all taking the time to bring me out. Y'all continue to be great at what you do and continue to be blessed. I'll see y'all soon.
Take care, my friend.
Absolutely.
JB, I tell you, man, I love seeing young men out doing things again. I tell you, it's a tremendous feeling to know and see how people dedicate and contribute to our youth.
Yeah.
And again, through it's from Georgia Alabama Sports Live to Sports Visions to Double Coverage and a whole lot of other folks out there that are doing it.
Yeah.
And again, I just continue to all of you, whether you make it to this platform or not, again, I have my eyes on some things out there. Again, Mike Jones, he has had a fundraiser on Saturday. He was selling fish. Some of his buddies, his volunteers got together. They were selling fish plates as well as, I believe, fish tacos. And, trying to do everything they can. And, I rant and rave about Mike because, again, his ability, to go out and give his time on the playgrounds of some of the, in the community over in Winton and, with basketball and working with our young babies. And guys like that and Jerome and others, man, it's amazing how many people that do this. And they're not doing it for the credibility. I see them. I got this platform. It's up to me to see who they are.
We get to say it.
Or, if we don't see it, we got people that are out there that maybe, they're part of it. They can let us know through it because we don't know all things in the universe.
No, exactly right. But I will always give flowers to people out there that are giving back to the kids and giving an opportunity for. Think about this. On a Sunday, beautiful Sunday afternoon, girls are out there being able to showcase their athletic abilities and everybody out there cheering them on. I'm all for that and a bag of chips.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Let you go, and I say, there's nothing like your touch. It's the way you lift me up, yeah. And I'll be right here with you till the end. I got my features out in Georgia, oh yeah. I get my work from California, that's that. I took my chick up to the north, yeah. I get my light right from the source, yeah. Yeah, that's it. You ain't sure yet, but I'm for ya. All I can want, all I can wish for. Nights alone that we miss more, and days we save in souvenirs.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A Kendrick High School teacher was arrested on multiple counts of theft by deception. Muskogee County School District Police are investigating the situation. The teacher was released from his duties. In LaGrange, a 67-year-old man was airlifted to a nearby Columbus hospital after he was severely injured in a fight on 121 Turner Street. The LaGrange Police Department is urging anyone with information on the incident to contact them. Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals has upheld the conviction and death sentence of Jeremy Williams, who was found guilty in the 2021 murder of 5-year-old Kamari Holland. Now that Williams' first appeal is complete, the case could quickly move to the Alabama Supreme Court if the order is final. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Monday morning. We are off to a partly cloudy and mild start with those temperatures hovering right around 60 degrees. We are tracking a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the afternoon with those high temperatures approaching 80 degrees. Now, tonight, the clouds will stick around, partly cloudy and mild with those low temperatures falling to about 60 again. We are tracking some warmer temperatures this week as temperatures climb in the mid 80s. We're also introducing a few showers and storms, especially later this week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. SportsVisions 92.1.
I'm in my late 60s. My husband died a few years ago. He did all of our taxes. I sold a piece of property last year, and I forgot to claim the proceeds of the sale. Next thing I know, I got a letter from the IRS telling me that I owe over $50,000. Now I have a huge tax problem. I don't have that kind of money. I wish I knew who to call.
If you sold property in the last calendar year or didn't claim all of your part-time or even retirement income, you could be in big trouble with the IRS. Call first before they send you a letter. If you've already got a letter, call. We'll help you file years of past tax returns and save you time and money. So call the tax doctor. The call is confidential and free.
800-241-0136. 800-241-0136. 800-241-0136. That's 800-241-0136.
Hey, y'all, when I talk to you about getting the very best deal on your next automobile from Bratton Automotive, I'm not trying to force you to go out there. I'm just saying that if you don't at least put them on your shopping list for your next automobile, you ain't doing yourself right. Bratton Automotive, where everybody leaves with a smile.
At Cartoons Car Stereo in Columbus, buy it today, get it installed today. That's right, same-day installation. Cartoons, Rockford Fosgate products, stereo head units, amps, speakers, speaker boxes, alarms, remote starts, navigation units, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so much more. Get same-day installation today. Call or stop by today for details. Cartoons on Veterans Parkway in Columbus.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
It's springtime and a perfect time for you to visit Gory's luxurious outdoor patio. Now, this is not your average big box store outdoor furniture. This will last you season after season after season. Sofas, love seats, and outdoor recliners. Come see it for yourself, and that's only at Gory's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I do. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
It's not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. Had to do some shufflings of some mics, man. We got some crickets or something going on in one of the microphones over there. That mic 2? What's the number of that mic?
Yeah, Mike 2 saying it was going to make sure DJ sounded like a robot, and we're tired of that. So Mike 2 will need to be under the weather right now, DJ. We'll let him recuperate, and we'll use Mike 3 right now.
It's a great day for a great day. Big special thanks to, of course, Jerome Bryant, man, doing big things out there in the neighborhood. Double coverage on the scene with flag football for the youth. Just an extraordinary accomplishment.
Yeah, he does a great job. You know, he also does CYF, Columbus Youth Football as well. Now with the Columbus flag football, this guy knows what he's doing. And he does a great job giving the kids and the athlete and the girls out there the best experience possible. And then look forward to going out there one day and seeing what it's all about.
I'm going to set this up with this particular little deal here. When you're in the hotel business, what's the top of the line hotel that you consider the very best hotel?
5-star hotel.
5-star hotel, 6-star, just the very best. When you think of the very best?
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, man.
Ritz-Carlton?
Absolutely.
That's what I was about to say,
Ritz-Carlton and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. But, I say that because the interview that we got, and like I said, I don't want to make people think that, as easy as he made it sound. Scott Williams, an accomplished former NFL athlete, former University of Georgia football player who is now doing big things with the Disney Network and, of course, more in particular with the SEC Network. The way he was able to present, Scott is a professional, and he makes it sound, and it is to him because he's gone through the different levels of sales and marketing and with a number of companies, and he started selling computer equipment out of the trunk of his truck, or at least out of the bed of his truck. But the bottom line is that he had opportunities with Turner Broadcasting and, of course, with the Atlanta Braves and so on and so forth. And here he is now some 25, 30 years later as a polished professional guy that makes it sound. So don't try this at home. But there's a process that has to take place. And I know that even with what you do, Thrift, and what we do, it seems easy, but we've been around. We've been doing this. This is not our first rodeo.
No, it is not, DJ. And you got to learn how to build relationships. And glad that Scott was able to come on and talk about the SC Network. And he's just a fun, energetic guy early in the morning to kick us off. DJ.
And we'll certainly hear from the next guy that we got coming up. He's had trials and tribulations. Obviously, when he picked up the mic or got behind the mic for the first time or behind the camera for the first time, he wasn't as good as he is now. And I'm sure he'll be happy to tell you that. But he's WTVM's sports anchor reporter, Drew Pafon. Good morning, Drew. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Really good, really good. And just for the record, right off the bat, when did you first get your first opportunity to go on camera to to do your first stand up and all that stuff. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Probably when I was like 13 or 14. It was a long time ago. So, I hope those videos aren't found wherever they are, because they were not as, I'm not proud of, and I'm not, that's just how I am. I'm never really happy with anything I do. I'm not very someone who gets complacent. I'm probably my biggest critic. I'm always just constantly just trying to work to get better. Even like I could do something perfect tomorrow, and everybody thinks it's great, but for me it's like, okay, I see like one little thing that I didn't like, and I want to critique and keep moving forward. But when I was 16, like my high school, I was lucky enough that we had an FM radio station inside our high school, and I had that as a class for 2 periods a day for 2 years. So I had like a weekly radio show that was going out to 2 massive counties in New York, and we got to broadcast that, and that started my experience with just like talking, being able to ad lib on radio and try to pivot anyway. Like also dealing with the board, like being on that tech side of like dealing with timing and everything along the lines of that. And then obviously when I got to go to college and had that experience working at a TV station there, it kind of catapulted me to be like, hey, this can be, an everyday thing. This could be my job going forward. It was something that I wanted to do when I was 12, which is crazy to think about now to see where I'm at. And I love where I'm at right now, but it's always just like, okay, like always looking forward to like 10 years ahead. Like I think Matthew McConaughey has a great quote from his memoir about it, where he's just like, my hero isn't, anyone else. It's myself in 10 years, because I'm always chasing that guy. It's always myself just down the line. So always looking forward to that, and always trying to just grow no matter what it is, just day by day.
Well said. Well said. Well, Drew, right off the bat, there was a basketball tournament with the military involved out at CSU. And again, you had the pleasure of being a part of the broadcast. How was it, my friend?
Oh, an amazing opportunity. Our parent company that WTVM is owned by, Gray Media. We have Peachtree Sports Network, which is going across Georgia, and it's broadcasted throughout the entire state. It wasn't just through Georgia, it was the entire country. Military Basketball Association is such a great organization, helping active duty people that are still want to continue to play basketball after their high school careers and after college. And this gives them that outlet. And because the suicide rates are so high, this has been another outlet for them to kind of get away from everything and find that avenue for them. So it's such a great organization. But we had 13 teams at Columbus State over the weekend. We broadcasted the championship game, evidently enough, the Fort Benning Yellow Jackets, which are one of the best teams in the country. They were 17-1, I want to say, going into that championship game on Sunday. They were going against the reigning champs, which were actually Patrick Space Force Base out of Cape Canaveral, Florida. And what a game that was, because, Fort Benning had all these expectations going in there. Like the hype around them was just building like, hey, they're the home team, 14-game win streak. And then Patrick walks in and they get the upset. And it's crazy enough because Fort Benning had 15 guys on the bench, and Patrick's Space Force Base had 6 guys total. So, and the way Fort Benning runs, they're kind of like Arkansas, Alabama. They're just nonstop press, fast-paced transition buckets. So Patrick was gassed the entire time, but they didn't look it. And going through the broadcast, like I kept trying to explain to people the amount of talent that was actually on that court. Like Fort Benning had their starting center, Shaw alum, Sidarius Brantley, who played almost a decade ago. He's an amazing talent, 6'6" center, and their point guard was a starter at Fort Valley just a couple years ago. And then on the other side, Patrick Space Force Base, their starting small forward and MVP of the game, Gabe Beeler, evidently was the starting shooting guard at the University of Utah in 2019. So like this was some top talent. Like this isn't just, I'm sure, there's a lot of talented basketball players in the military, but these were some legit top talent dudes out there playing some basketball, and it was great. I got to be on the call with Jason Dennis, who used to do sports a very long time ago. It was always his dream of doing that, and getting to be on the call with him and go through all that. And not only that, just a great game. And we had such an amazing production crew because we rolled out the red carpet with it. We had 20 people involved with the broadcast. We had 10 different cameras. It was a great experience and just great game, and still an amazing opportunity to give that an outlet. And they were very supportive and very grateful, and we were happy to do it.
Well, Drew, congratulations on the tremendous coverage and tremendous broadcast. And boy, I tell you what, I had no idea it was a national broadcast. But, the only thing that, have you been able to get, or maybe it is a little too soon to get feedback on, again, not just around the surrounding areas, but from, those folks around the country and those stations around the country that was able to get this broadcast?
Yeah, it's funny enough, I had put my phone on Do Not Disturb during the game. And that was, we went from about 3 to 6. It was a long broadcast. And then I finally flipped it off, checked my phone, and I had a whole bunch of texts from just random friends of mine within our parent company, Gray Media, who owns about 130 stations. And this game was being broadcast in Anchorage, Alaska, to Binghamton, New York, to middle of nowhere, Texas, to Arizona. And I had a buddy in Colorado text me. He said, "Why are you on my TV right now?" He's like, "Why?" He goes, "Where did that come from?" So I got a lot of feedback on it. People said it's great, but the second I got back to the station, we had to cut some stuff did a little highlight thing for the shows last night, and just already critiquing myself. People thought it was great, but for me, it's always all right, rewatch it and be like, what did I say there? What could I say that's better? How could I have played this situation a little bit better in transitioning out of the show, and little things like that. But feedback's been great so far. Really proud of the team with just our whole production, because it really takes a unit to get something like that done.
Clingstones start opening week this week, media day tomorrow, opening day on Friday, Lions coming up in 2 weeks, April the 16th, River Dragons in a playoff push, and then, of course, all the high school sports. We got a lot happening around the area. How are you going to cover all of it, Drew?
Oh, it's a lot. It's always a lot. We got that. I'll be at media day tomorrow. Friday's opening day with the Stones. I'll be there as well. Lions, like you said, got training camp kicked off, I believe, this weekend. Excited to see what they bring with Coach Daniels this year, and just the new roster. And I know I was at the River Dragons game on Saturday. They were rocking the old Cottonmouth jerseys, which were sick, and they were able to get a big win in overtime against a very good Monroe team. So they clinched their playoff berth about a month ago. So we're going to get playoff hockey in the Chattahoochee again, which is always exciting. Don't love that for the people that park over there on the Commons on the south side, because we're going to get a playoff game at the same time as Clingstone's game, and I can't wait for that. When I'm trying to get over there to cover both at the same time, running around the Commons like a madman. But a lot going on. High school baseball, we got a couple weeks until playoffs kick off, and we got some baseball around here, man. People talk about football, but some of the talent we have for baseball, going down up and down the Chattahoochee, it's unbelievable. I was at that Brookstone Columbus game, I think it was last week, just watching some of the dudes, the Michael Nodelmans and the Brennan Neals. You're just looking at dudes who are going to the top of the line SEC, ACC schools, and you just can't believe that this area is producing this kind of talent. We got a plan. We're all good, and we got spring football too. Been at Auburn the past couple of weeks, getting to see Alex Golish, how he's running things over there now. A lot going on. Everyone said, hey, we'll sleep in April once, March Madness ends. No, man, it never stops with baseball and, Columbus Lions and the River Dragons.
Drew, I want to switch gears here and pivot and talk a little bit about Alabama, your alma mater. Again, I know there's been a lot of different things in the news, and but this is more related to head coach Nate Oates. Obviously, the North Carolina job has come open, and everybody was speculating that Coach Oates this is a perfect opportunity for him to exit stage left. However, there's been on word that he is not planning on going anywhere. Matter of fact, he has received even more support for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still have a ton of ties to the University of Alabama, a lot of sources still within the program. a lot of smoke came out with that UNC job, and that's what happens. When you're one of the top coaches and you're not at a blue blood program and you've been to that many Sweet 16s in the past couple of years, your name's going to be thrown in those conversations, and that's usually a good thing when you have a coach like that. But obviously, for the fans, that Alabama's never really been at this level basketball wise. Like, they made the Elite Eight in the early 2000s, but before that, they were really a bottom middle tier basketball team until Nate Oates arrived. And what he's been able to bring to the university is a high quality, high paced, talented basketball team. And hearing from my sources, and I texted someone, I was like, "You hearing anything with this UNC job?" And I heard after a week that, he didn't get a call. So for Alabama fans, I think you can take a breath of fresh air right now. I think UNC is still trying to circle on someone that is maybe in the tournament. Arizona's head coach is definitely a name to watch out there with his connections to Roy Williams. And he's a good friends with head coach Mark Few over at Gonzaga, who UNC is very big on. So don't be surprised if Arizona's coach is in that calling. But I think there may be another big job coming out soon. I really thought something was going to happen with Bill Self there, but he seems to be sticking around for another year. But UNC's that top job. Nate Oates, I think, is going to be staying put at Alabama. He loves it there. He's been able to, they built something there too, especially with the talent. Like, they've continued to just build off that success and the recruiting and transfer portal. They're continuing what they have, and they built in this brand new practice facility right near the basketball arena. So they're building around the program, but nothing on him moving. So from what I've heard right now.
It also helps the fact that he will get a bump in his salary. I think he was scheduled to brought in about $8 million this year. He's going to get it bump up maybe to about $12 million, which is still below par, which is $14 to $16 million for some of the top coaches around America. But at the end of the day, there were some scandals or some things that were not so good about the program. Has been actually for the last few years, two episodes this year, and of course one a few years ago. You don't think any of that stuff happens to follow him with when he comes up for these jobs, do you?
I don't know. I don't know if that does. A couple years ago, the whole thing with the Darius Miles situation was so weird, and that was in the midst of him having the number one team in the country. Like, that was the number one overall team with Brandon Miller and Noah Clowney, and what a talented group they had. And then that whole situation going down, and they still finished number one. They got bounced in the Sweet 16 a little early by San Diego State. Then the Charles Bediako thing, we could put that on Nate Oates. I guess he's the one that willingly brought him back. But what was happened with Aiden Holloway, who had been at Auburn and had some troubles on the Plains too, similar to that, from behind the scenes with things like that, from a couple years ago. And, just these are uncontrollable things. Like, these are kids; they make mistakes, and obviously he handles them well. Something that I've always respected is he's always backed his guys, no matter these situations. Like, he's always behind his players, and he's gonna continue to support him, because I know a handful of universities at that level that are, they don't always back their guys and give them the support they need. Like Charles Bediako, he continued to support him. They gave him legal support even after they knew he wasn't going to play, and continued to fulfill his academic side to give him his scholarship and continue his career at Alabama to graduate. So a lot to look forward to. I think for him, it's like, he's got a pretty good control on what's going on, but these things happen when you control, you can't control what these kids do.
No, you absolutely can't, man. But I'll tell you this, Nate knows what he's doing. He's done a great job. 4 straight Sweet 16s, nothing to put your head down about. And just, they ran into a buzzsaw. Michigan and Arizona, I think, they're the best 2 teams in the country. I mean, I think that's whoever wins that game is going to win the national championship. What we saw yesterday with UConn, man, unbelievable. And I want to say this, man, as much as I love John Shire, and he has been excellent, they led by 10 against NC State in 2024, 2 years ago, lost that Elite Eight game to an 11 seed, by the way. Last year, they were up by as many as 15 against Houston and up by 6 with a minute to go, lost that Final Four game. And then this year, I stopped watching, Drew, at midway through the second half, because I'm like, let me get focused for my show. And then I go back and I get a text from DJ saying UConn. I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth they won this game. And I saw what happened. That is the beauty of March Madness, isn't it, man?
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy. You know, the game had started going on while we were, wrapping up our broadcast. And I would check the score, and Jason Dennis, who's a huge UNC guy. This guy hates Duke. Jason Dennis can't stand him. He texts me, or he's sitting next to me, he shows me the score. He goes, wow, Duke's blowing out UConn right now. And, I got a rule, my family has a rule whenever we watch March Madness growing up. Anytime a point differential was over 20, we'd flip off the game and we go watch another March Madness game. So, kind of put past, I'm like, oh, wow, Duke's rolling, they're one of the top teams for a reason. Checked back, and I got a text in my family group chat. Similar thing was like, whoa, UConn's coming back in this thing. And I checked the score. It was like 15, maybe. I think it was 13. And I was like, maybe there's 8 minutes left. I'm like, I don't know if UConn's got it in them. And then I was able to get back to the station for those final minutes, and then hitting that final shot. Like, it's crazy enough when you come back in a game like that, but with less than 7 seconds to get a crazy play like that and just hit a 40-footer from that far out. And then I love Dan Hurley jumping around like that.
I mean, like a nut job, dude. I love every second of it. I mean, he's got his jacket falling off his shoulder. I mean, come on, Drew.
Yeah, and that's what I love too, is like Dan Hurley, like he's a Northeast guy, like coached at URI, coached in New York for a very long time. His father is one of the best high school coaches in the state of New Jersey of all time. So I love what the Hurley family brings. And it's crazy to me to see him like jump around like that. You know what I mean? Because we've always seen the videos of like the Coach K's and all those legendary coaches. Like whenever big shots happen, they don't jump or like they don't move at all. So I kind of enjoy seeing that. It's a breath of fresh air. But this has been one of the crazier March Madnesses we had, and I remember saying a couple months ago that this may be the best one, with just like the talent we have. And Arizona's such a great team. Michigan, they blew out Tennessee by 35, which was ridiculous yesterday.
Unreal.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that Final Four game, Arizona versus Michigan. I feel like that's a championship game that we're sitting on waiting on. And I have Michigan win the whole thing. I did have Michigan versus Duke, but just an insane way to end a game, especially with those final seconds, for it to unravel that way. Kind of remind me of that. I think it was Virginia, UMBC, or maybe it was Wofford. I can't remember. It's back in like 2021, 22, where like the inbound play and they like threw it away and it got tipped, and that long three. It looked just like that. Yeah, it was Furman. Yeah.
Yep.
And that was
McGee's. Yep.
Yes. Shout out Auburn, JB McGee's.
Never got any minutes in Auburn, but
no, never got any minutes.
Game winner though.
I always remembered last year's Final Four run. We'd be in the locker room and like JP McGee's didn't play at all the entire year. And we're sitting in the locker room. We're like, that's the dude that hit the big shot for Furman. Like, like this poor guy transferred who didn't get a single minute. But it's still crazy to think about just how that game unraveled. But the fact that it's Duke, UConn, and Duke was heavily considered to go back to the final, like go to the championship game and be there against Michigan or Arizona. It's crazy just how it unravels. But, Dan Hurley's one of the best coaches for a reason.
Drew Pavard is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show. And Drew, I know that you have still amazing contacts back in Tuscaloosa. And, of course, spring football practice is going on. But pro days are also still going on as well. I understand Ty Simpson had his pro day. And unfortunately for Ty, or fortunately, I understand only one general manager showed up at the pro day, and that was the Chicago Bears, who I don't think are looking for a quarterback. But what's your thoughts on him not having one of the general or several general managers not at his pro day?
Yeah, it's been a kind of a growing trend of recently. Like, you don't see too many of these like head coaches and GMs. I mean, I was at Auburn's pro day as well the day before Alabama's. There wasn't a single head coach. There was one GM, and it was the Patriots GM. And Keldrick Falk is a projected first-round pick. I mean, that kid's a monster. He will go in the first. But I think it's just kind of the growing trend. It's like we got these trusts and these scouts. And from everything I heard was that the New York Jets brass, like almost their entire front office, flew into Tuscaloosa separately outside the pro day to have dinner with Ty. which I think is something important to note. But I'm glad you brought up the Ryan Poles thing, because my dad asked me the exact same question. He goes, no head coach, no GMs. The only GM was the Bears. And my dad's like, don't they have Caleb Williams? He's like, why would the GM be in Tuscaloosa? Alabama's got a couple guys that may go in the first round. Caden Proctor's a name that is kind of circled for Chicago. But funny story, Ty Simpson, obviously he's been a coach at the Manning Passing Academy for the past couple of years. He's been Ryan Poles' son is like coach during those weeks. So Ty has a good relationship with GM Poles. So obviously they don't need a quarterback. I don't think they'd take Ty even in the first 3 rounds if they needed him. But interesting there, because, that always helps, I think, with other GMs, because they talk and they're friends, and it keeps a kind of better tone of like, hey, like, what's this kid all about? But everything I'm hearing right now, Ty, a lot of people think Ty could be, one of the more talented quarterbacks coming out of this class. But, obviously Fernando Mendoza's lock and key into that number 1 spot with the Raiders, and as he should be with the performance he showed in the playoffs. But I think Ty, it's weird because the amount of talent that's coming out next year, and such high depth on the defense position, and some key value players on the offensive line that top 10 teams like the Cardinals are willing to wait on and try to reevaluate, because some of these teams just clip their quarterbacks. So they kind of want to take a little reset with their teams, and these new head coaches want to figure out what they got around them, like the Dolphins and the Cardinals and the Falcons, whatever they may be doing with their quarterback situation right now, but still trying to figure out that. And, the Jets have multiple picks. I think they're an avenue. Steelers don't have a quarterback. They're a name that I've heard, still waiting on Aaron Rodgers' decision. The Rams were a team that I heard were very high on Ty Simpson and thought was going to be a perfect situation for him to go sit behind a Matthew Stafford. Now they could always trade back in. They don't like to pick in the first round. I think they picked once in the past decade, which is crazy because they just ship off their picks, and they traded to Kansas City to get Trent McDuffie. But Ty Simpson, I think he's got a lot of talent. At Pro Day, I wouldn't say it's too concerning. I think that's just the day we're kind of rolling through. Like the days of, the second Pro Day I ever covered was Bryce Young's Pro Day, and that had Will Anderson. And I think there was maybe every NFL scout's at Alabama's Pro Day, and every single, I think Bryce Young had the whole Tepper family fly in to have dinner with him that the night after the Pro Day. I think they had to, I heard a private room they had to reserve of 40 people from the Panthers just to meet Bryce Young. So I think those days are kind of switching. But I wouldn't say it's too concerning, but interested to see where Ty Simpson's going to land in the next couple of weeks.
And to add matters to that, not to say that, the NFL is obviously the front office and the brass have any certain habits, if you will, but it is known that if an NFL team is interested in you, they act like they don't. So again, that could be a part of it as well, because again, the Rams, they don't even send anybody to the combines anymore. They're so good in the draft. So again, that goes to show you from one level to the other, but I'm sure that Ty will end up doing quite well on draft day as it approaches in a few weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think with his talent, I think people are just concerned with the sample size they got, only playing in 15 games as a starting quarterback, compared to Fernando, who's got 36 starts total in his career and such a national championship run. And you look at Fernando, 6'4", 235, prototypical quarterback, and that kid's he's accurate and he gets the job done. But I think the Ty, through his first 8 games and 10 games, when you look back at what Alabama went through last year with just a roster and injuries, that he showed a lot. And he showed a lot from not just throwing the football, but the technical side of checking at the line. I didn't see a college quarterback do so much within that in a long time. He was just so purposeful on everything he did. It was switching line protection, switching, hot routes, audibling at the line, kind of a Peyton Manning, just jumping up and down, throwing things out at the line and making big plays. So I think he's NFL ready from that side. And his father being a coach at UT Martin for the past 20 years obviously helps into that, and having that connection and being a coach's son is always a good thing. So interested to see where he could land up, but I think it'll all work out for Ty.
My final question for you, Drew, is that obviously the Clinkstones will have Media Day tomorrow, year number 2, and year number 2 for you actually having the opportunity to cover there. What do you think is in store for Nestor Perez and the Columbus Clingstones in year 2?
Well, we'll get to see when this roster comes out this week. It's crazy enough. I had someone mention to me on Friday. They were like, "Hey, like, do you know who's like on this team next week?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be honest, no." And the Clingstones don't know either because that's the Braves brass trying to figure out how their farm system's going to work. But the Braves have so much talent, and we got to see a lot of it last year. My big hope for this team this year is like we hopefully get some. Like rehab start guys. Like that was the big thing last year. If you remember all this hype around like, hey, Ronald Acuna, like he's coming to Columbus. People are like, it's happening. Chris Sale's coming to Columbus. Like it was that week on Monday, they announced he's going to pitch in Columbus. I think it was a Saturday game. And that game sold out in like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden Friday, the Braves said, he's going to pitch in Gwinnett, so we've been robbed on having these rehab starts. So hopefully for the fans of like Braves fans and Clingstones fans, they're able to get an Austin Riley or Matt Olson. God forbid these guys get hurt, but hopefully we get that down the line. It's just baseball. It's going to be natural. Hopefully Strider maybe starts in Columbus when he's trying to get back into it. But we'll see. Roster hasn't come out yet. I'm excited to see what Coach Perez has in store. Braves have such great talent in the minor league systems, but nobody talks about how great their coaching staffs are top to bottom. Like these guys are always winning the Cox Awards for how great of assistant coaches they are and working in player development. And Coach Cody Gabella was great last year. Perez, I've heard nothing but great things talking to Pete Lavin, the GM with the Clingstones. He's really excited about what he brings and just overall atmosphere. I think they got a ton in store for the Clingstones just with they let us come out there and try some food and do some different stuff and just new attractions that they're going to be bringing to the ballpark, which I'm excited to see on Friday.
Well, Drew, as always, we appreciate you, big guy. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and when we can see you again on television.
You see me on TV tonight at 6 o'clock on Channel 9, WTVM, and you follow me on social media on X and Facebook at Drew Pavon TV.
Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great rest of your morning.
Drew, thank you.
Yeah, have a good morning, guys.
All right, Drew Pavon.
Man, I love him, dude. What an interview and what a time.
What an opportunity it was for that military basketball
NBA.
assistant. Yep, absolutely. All over the country. Did you know that?
I did not know that, and I'm glad that they were able to showcase it, broadcast. I know the whole team between him. Saw Aaron Lee and Jeremy Hayes and all the production guys that were involved. All hands on deck. WTVM always going to do a good job. So William McLean, the over there, who is the news director, they make sure that they give the NBA the best possible product.
And of course, you had to be, very impressed with some of those players that he named. Of course, a couple of local favorites, Shaw player, as well as a player from Fort Valley.
Yeah, so glad that they were able to participate, and hopefully they'll bring it back again to Columbus State University in the Lumpkin Center, DJ.
All right, 3F, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have more on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WOTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Don't be so quick to walk away. It's me. I wanna rock your body. Please stay. It's me. You don't have to admit you want to play. It's me. Just let me rock you.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Attorney Advertising, Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
You say you hate these commercials. Get into an accident. I bet you won't hate these commercials no more. I bet you be saying call the dog. You know why? Because you know that dog bite. That's why. You really love the commercials. Tell the truth. You be in the car and your kids be like, turn it up, Mom. What you gonna do if that dog chase you? What you gonna do, Mom? He gonna bite, Mom. He gonna bite. Now you sitting there nodding your head to it like, top dog, top dog, top dog law. Then you go home and write a post about us. Say you hate those commercials. How could you? How dare you? What you wanted some attention? Any accident, make the call. Top dog law.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
At Cartoons Car Stereo in Columbus, buy it today, get it installed today.
In-house.
That's right, same-day installation. Cartoons, Rockford Fosgate products, stereo head units, amps, speakers, speaker boxes, alarms, remote starts, navigation units, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so much more. Get same-day installation today. Call or stop by today for details. Cartoons on Veterans Parkway in Columbus.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price. Got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gills Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory and deals like you haven't seen in a long time. Every lot in Gills' lineup is stocked with a car, truck, or SUV that you've been dreaming about. Hey, want to save more than ever before on the vehicle of your dreams during the 40th anniversary celebration? You gotta get to Gills. The only live and local sports morning show. It's the SportsVisions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer on SportsVisions 92.1.
Mexico, working like a Mexico. Lucasano, I'm moving off of Ferragamo. Get the lumber, I probably would.
Welcome back to the SportsVisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer in the building. Big shout out to our guy Drew Pavon. And I tell you what, I was excited to hear about the Military Basketball Association with the national broadcast of the tournament. And, of course, the local team, which was the favorite, Fort Benning, got upset.
Yeah, they did. And we hate that, but great job by Pavon and WTVM on their broadcast this past weekend.
Also, congratulations to Jerome Bryant, of course, starting the Columbus Youth Flag Football League, as well as Scott Williams from the SEC Network. But right now, he's the graduate of Clark Atlanta University, and he was awarded the 2022 Alabama Sports Writer of the Year award by National Sports Media Association. And, of course, our friend, Tobias Wilborn. Good morning, sir.
Hey, man. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going, brothers? Great
Wonderful.
day to be alive.
Wonderful, man. You're right. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day that it's March Madness, man. Obviously, it hadn't let us down, has it?
No, it's really been a fun tournament this year. This has been a good year for college basketball with a lot of top players. I mean, you look at DJ Abenduza out of BYU.
Yeah.
You look at Darren Peterson at Kansas, and both of them got eliminated early, but they're still dominant. I mean, that Michigan team looks as good as any college basketball team I've seen in a while. Shout out to Illinois. I mean, there are some really good teams. That Duke UConn game, that ending of that ball game, my God, what a weird, surprising ending. I'm sure the Duke fans are not happy this morning, but shout out to UConn, that team holding on and saving everything. It was really fun to watch. It's been a good tournament, a lot of intriguing players, a lot of interesting stories. It appears the personality is coming back to college basketball. It's been fun.
Yeah, Hurley, after the game or after the shot, has his jacket halfway off. He's beating his chest. He's a different breed. And the reason I say that is because I was that way when I coached, and I would be Dan Hurley. That's why I love him. I'd be talking trash, and you saw he's beating his chest, and all of a sudden then he gets in the line, he's stoic, and he's going to shake John Shire's hand. But I will tell you, that was a choke job, Tobias. I don't think there's any two ways about it. That may be a little harsh, but John Shire, that's back-to-back. Actually, that's 3 straight years they've blown big leads in late in the second half, and back-to-back years they've blown leads with a minute to go. And he is telling Caden Boozer to push the ball ahead instead of pulling it back and getting fouled. I cannot believe the coaching from him.
One, just a player getting trapped in the middle of the court like that, right?
Right.
You just don't see that in these kind of situations. But it really just goes to show, man, hey, man, pressure, you know how it does, man. Burst pipes sometimes. And it can either create diamonds or burst pipes. You know what I'm saying? In that instance, it created a diamond for UConn and burst the pipes of Duke. I mean, and I do think it's important that even though these young men are making money now, they're still amateurs. They're still learning how to play basketball. I know, I understand the money's in it, but this is still amateur sport, even though there's money. You get what I'm saying? These still aren't players at the highest level of their sport, as evidenced by how the Boozer kid got caught up that way. In a couple years, that wouldn't happen to him again. But in that moment, as a freshman, everything bearing down, all the ads, all the stuff still doesn't change. That once that game starts, the game has to be played. I mean, I think the Booster Twins got 3 national ads right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, none of those ads helped him when it came down to that moment, did it? You know what I'm saying? Because it's more than just money. And one of the things that I loved about this tournament was, like, for instance, seeing the Illinois kids, man, they're having a good time playing college basketball, and the different mix of culture they have on that team with Paige Stojakovic's kid. I mean, it's been fun to watch, and a reminder that these are still 18 to 21-year-olds by and large.
Yes, indeed. Now, with that said, I don't know if you feel this way, but for me, I'm kind of slanted towards, yes, as far as the women's competition getting, or the women's NCAA tournament getting less of a shine more so than the men. Is that something that, in all of your years of covering, the sports, does it feel like that the women are getting slighted this year at all?
Yeah, I mean, when you start hearing about some of the arenas not having air conditioning, some of the ways in which they had to go about warming up and practicing for games, or just the accommodations altogether. Because, some people say, well, the men's tournament makes more money. Okay, fine, sure. And I'm not denying that. But I do believe that they can make it more equitable where the women have the same accommodations as the men. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Where they have regional sites as opposed to these random places, or even the tournament starting on campus. I don't think that should be a thing anymore. I think that there's enough money, enough resources for the tournament to mimic the way the men's tournament is, exactly with those women getting the same accommodations and the same supports as the men from the NCAA. Because it ain't like they ain't got the money. You know what I'm saying? And, it's, as women's sports continue to grow, the investment in it has to be critiqued. It has to be challenged. And, yeah, it is very fair to continue to critique the NCAA for the way it's treating the women, especially they're playing some good basketball. I mean, that UConn team looks like a UConn team of old. Well, I guess old is relative, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, I mean, first of all, I love the idea of Kim Mulkey, even though she and Dan Hurley aren't my type, but I appreciate that she wears those silly outfits. I appreciate that she kicks it the way she kicks it, because college sports needs personality. Okay. It needs the entertainment part, because to be honest, the ball just by itself, it doesn't match up to the NBA game, because it can't. You know what I'm saying? It never will.
Right.
Because the NBA game is the pro game, and the W for the women. The W is the 144 as of right now. I know the rosters are going to expand. There's going to be expansion in that league, but fewer than 200 women play in the league. Those are the best women in the world. College basketball is not going to look as good as that. That's not an insult to it, but it needs the personality, and we need to treat these women athletes like athletes. They need to be treated in all the ways that athletes are treated, from facilities to accommodations to resources, and to putting it on TV when people know when it's on TV. Like, it shouldn't be hard to find these games. It shouldn't be as hard. I mean, well, we could get into a whole other thing with streaming sports and how hard it is to watch sports on TV. While in one way there are more sports available than ever, in another way it is harder to watch sports now than it's ever been, where you got to have the ESPN app. Then you got to make a purchase within the app. Then you got to make another purchase within the app. Then you got to switch to the MLB app when you want to watch baseball and this and that. All these money designs, it's almost as if though, hey, DJ, what if I told you there was one place where all the channels were? Oh, you mean cable? They got us off this stream, and now they got us looking back for cable again. So, but with the women's sports, it has historically been harder to find it on TV. Again, it's not impossible, but it's harder to find, harder to know what channels. I mean, because think about it, when you put the men's tournament on, you either have to pay for the HBO app to watch some of the games.
True.
And you still have to have the CBS games. Like, if you want to watch all the games that you can get, you have to have the CBS, and you have to have the HBO app. Then there's a Prime app. Then there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes so much. But the average person, if you ask them how to watch the women's games, they couldn't tell you, because they do not do a good job of advertising how, when, and where to watch those games.
Now, in the spirit of women's sports, and again, we're going to give them some flowers right now, because give it up for the WNBA, and of course, those folks that were at the table during their collective bargaining agreement, going up from $66,000 in starting pay to $300,000. And again, I think that's a significant boost. And as far as the rosters, I think 7 million versus 2.5 or something of that nature, but all progress, and it should be.
Well, it is progress. I will say one thing that I did not think they got a fair shake on. The 20% revenue split is one of the lowest in pro sports, okay? It is nowhere near to where what the men are getting in the NBA. And I'm not talking about amount of money. I'm talking about percentage of the pie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And if you notice, that was the one thing the W consistently held on. They did not budge off that number the whole time. They gave up a bunch of everything else, but they would not budge on that revenue split. Now, some people say, well, the WNBA isn't making that much money, so it doesn't matter anyway. And to that I say, DJ, what's the difference between 50% of nothing and 20% of nothing?
True.
Nothing, right?
Yep.
Right? But what's the difference between 50% of something and 20% of something? That's a big difference. You see what I'm saying? And you ain't finna tell me that there ain't nothing there if the WNBA is fighting so hard to hold on to that revenue split, because they're going to have a new TV contract coming up that I have a feeling is going to be a better deal. Also, if you notice, they're trying to expand to, I think, 53 games. They currently play around 35, if I'm correct. I should have known that, but off the top of my head, I think it's 35. They're trying to go to 53. Which also tells me that there's more money in this than that league wants to admit. They want to be honest about the numbers, because I still do not think that we have seen the true revenues that are coming in that league. I think there's more money being made than people think, because they're expanding the number of games. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
When you start expanding the number of games, that's when you start being like, okay, there's more money. I don't know. I have a feeling we're going to look back in a year or two and be like, yo, this wasn't a really great deal in the long run of the deal. And it's a 7-year deal with a 6-year opt-out, which means the next couple of generations of players coming into the league are going to be held accountable to this CBA that they did not negotiate. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
And with that 6-year opt-out, I have a feeling you're going to look up and all of a sudden the TV contract is going to go up when they sign the new deal. All of a sudden, different revenues that you didn't see before are going to start coming in, and those girls are still going to get a smaller percentage of the pie. But yes, getting the contracts where all those girls are making at least 6 figures, I think that's necessary. I mean, for Christ's sake, some of those rookies were making less than a school teacher. You know what I'm saying? Just in their WNBA salary.
Yes.
They have some stuff for housing. I think they finally got the travel straightened out. So they got a lot, but I am very concerned for them on that revenue share percentage. That will be the long-term health and the long-term growth, because that is where the real money resides.
New Bias, let's shift gears. Something that's a little near and dear to your heart, and that's Major League Baseball, and more importantly, the Atlanta Braves. Opening week is gone by. Of course, the Braves got out of the first 3 games, 2-1, beating up on the Kansas City Royals. Going to be hosting the Oakland A's in town for tonight and for a series. I think that considering all of the injuries and the mass unit reports coming out of spring practice or spring training, I think the Braves are off to even a start that's pretty good. Certainly not an 0-7 start as that last year.
No, I mean, look, 2-1 is pretty good. I guess is Oakland still calling themselves Oakland? I mean, I guess
they'll always
playing they play in Sacramento. Hell, I don't know what they call themselves these days. But they weren't a very good baseball team last year. I don't think they're going to be much better. So the Braves have a chance to get off to a good start. I am very concerned about the injuries when it comes to starting pitching. Every time you look up, they keep having more. But they do have a strong core. I mean, I do think Ronald Acuna is going to have a great year. I think Ozzie Albies can have a bounce back season. I think Austin Riley can have a bounce back season. I think Michael Harris II can have a bounce back season. I think there are a lot of guys now. Jurickson Profar, losing him for the whole year on the PEDs, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to go around. The losses on the pitching staff are gonna be tough. I do think that this could be a playoff team. I do think this is a team that can even compete to win the NL East this year, but a lot of things are going to go right, and they have a much thinner margin for error than they should have. I still think they should have decided to sign more pitching in the offseason. They did not seem to want to spend the money to do that. I think that's going to bite them, but they do have a good roster, and I think Walt Weiss is going to be a good manager. I think he learned a lot from being with Snit during his time with the Braves. Also, Weiss does have managerial experience. He's got a lot of baseball experience. He's very highly regarded as a baseball man. He made perfect sense to be the guy to replace Snit going forward. But they could have spent a little bit more money, and they have the money to spend. You know, if there's one franchise that should never cry about what the Dodgers are spending, it's the Atlanta Braves. I mean, if you consider who owns them, you consider how much money's coming through that battery between the apartments and all the restaurants and all the bars and everything else that's coming through the battery, everything else is going through the ballpark, the price of tickets, everything else. The Braves absolutely should put a good product on the diamond every season. There is no reason why the Braves should not be a top 5 payroll team every single year, because they have the money and the resources to do it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I'm excited to think that this team has a chance to compete with the Mets and the Phillies. The problem is that they're going to want to spend the money to continue that. Ronald Acuna Jr., do you think that they sign him to a mega deal? This is a big year for him. Are you willing to sign someone that's gotten injured 3 times in the last couple of years? I've asked you this question before. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. What if he's MVP caliber? Are you willing to take that risk?
I mean, yeah, if it's me, sure, I would. But, it ain't my money. I would, yes. I think it's foolish to not try to sign that man for life. I also would have kept Freddie Freeman a few years ago. I also probably wouldn't let Nancy Swanson go. You know what I'm saying? I also probably would have held on to Max Fried. But that's me. This Braves organization, as it stands, they'll spend some money, but they're not trying to really spend like that. So I don't think the Braves will try to extend him where he's a Brave for life, unfortunately, which means what, you got 2-3 more seasons. So you better, which to me, I think is also annoying, because if you're going to take it where you're only going to have what's left, maybe 2 to 3 more seasons, then you better try to win now. And I don't feel the Braves are urgent enough for that situation. So we're going to look up in a couple of years, and the Braves may not win another World Series, and you're going to be watching Ronald Acuna go somewhere else. And I think that would be a bad thing for Braves fans. I think that'd be a bad thing for Atlanta baseball.
Nubias Wilborn is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show, and Nubias has had stops in a plethora of markets throughout the country. And, of course, I know that his specialty in my mind is baseball, but he also loves basketball and football. But Nubias, the next and the last question that I have for you is considering one of the greatest golfers of our all time. Well, we're a little over a week away from the Masters down in Augusta, and Tiger Woods is in the news once again, not for the right reasons, man. I tell you, I know that, we love Tiger. Tiger's one of my all-time favorites, but he has some issues and some things that are going on. And I just wanted to get your take. As we always do, we find a way to get your take, and then this is no different. What are you thinking about Tiger Woods, and obviously being right here at the doorstep of the Masters, and all hell break loose?
Well, perhaps since he was coming to Georgia, he was thinking he's going to try out for the UGA football team. With his driving there. Perhaps he thought.
Oh, okay. I take that laugh back. I take that laugh back.
I'm just saying, I mean, it'd be Tiger Woods or UGA football. Who has more driving incidents, right?
Boy, you something else.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. But, just saying. I mean, look, man, again, it's a shame that Tiger has failed this way. I mean, and he's still, to me, he's the best golfer I've seen in my lifetime.
No doubt.
I was not here for the greatness of Arnold Palmer or insert whomever you want to even put in the same conversation with Tiger. And I don't know if any of these new dudes will ever match anything what Tiger did. The way that Sunday felt when he put on that red, the way in which he dominated, the way in which he brought so many people into the sport. And unfortunately, the man himself continues to engage in some behaviors I just don't quite understand. I just don't understand why he continues to get himself in these situations. And it's one of those things with stuff like DUIs to where you can't diminish it. You can't not take it seriously. Because, I mean, it's people's lives on the line, and it's dangerous. You're impacting more than yourself. And, again, I just don't know how he continues to get himself in these situations. I don't know why he didn't have a driver himself at this point. I just don't understand it. And I think you're going to continue to see people start to distance himself from him. The president, there was a report out on one of the sites where the Secret Service allegedly banned Tiger Woods from driving Donald Trump's grandparents, according to several outlets.
What?
Yeah, it was out there. Now, personally, I think old Trump put that out there to distance himself somewhat, even though Tiger Woods has been kissing the ring of Donald Trump lately, including attending that college sports summit that Donald Trump had up there that didn't have any actual currently active college football players. But I digress. My point of this is Tiger Woods needs to be careful behind the wheel. It is a shame that he continues to tarnish his legacy in these ways. And it's just disappointing. He's becoming a laughing stock, and it's becoming sad, and I really hate that. It seems like ever since that one night when the infamous golf club incidents with his now ex-wife at the time, I guess his first ex-wife, because he's been married twice now, and He's just had a lot of drama in his life, man, which is a shame because man was an incredible golfer. Man was, phenomenal. And you hope that somehow he could get it back. And, he just continues to injure himself. And then this is an accident, right? A rollover accident or whatever. And he keeps having these accidents, keeps having these situations. And I just don't know what happened. I mean, it's really, I wish I had better words for it. It's just really sad. It's just really disappointing. I'm not gonna say Tiger Woods is my hero, but he was definitely one of my favorite athletes at one point. And I still can appreciate what he did on the golf course, what he did for Black people in the sport, even when he didn't necessarily want to be identified as Black, which is a whole other conversation there. What do he call himself? Combination.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man, that part and so many other parts, man. I just hate that it's going out like this. And is he even 50?
I don't think so.
No, he's not 50. I think he's 48 or 49.
He just turned 50 last year. Okay.
Big 5-0. Can I tell you, he had about 87 girlfriends. And
yeah.
Player.
But I'm talking about legitimate girlfriends where he's calling and checking up on them and he's getting all the tea. Like, there's a difference between being a player and having 87 girlfriends.
Nah, he liked them women, dog, and they liked him. I mean, from what you read and what was heard, he just would be talking to him, man.
He's just like having a conversation.
Yeah, he just like talking to him. Hey, man, he just enjoyed the company. I mean, I just a lot of time.
Hey, can we transition to something a little bit more positive?
Yeah, before we get ourselves in some trouble there, boy.
Hey, listen, when Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, they had to tell him when he was 23 years old, dude, you're Tiger Woods. He's like, how do you get women? You're Tiger Woods, man. Like, what are you talking about? But hey,
Atlanta exists, buddy.
Yeah, it does. And I learned that easily, that fame and athleticism doesn't make you not a goober. Atlanta Hawks are playing their best basketball right now, Tobias. They trade away Trae Young, and right now they're the 5 seed. They're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. I think the East is wide open. They just beat Detroit at Detroit. What are your thoughts on these Hawks without Trae Young?
All right. So, okay. Yeah, you have to be fair and you have to acknowledge that, a good bit of those wins were against teams who weren't
Hoop teams.
Yeah, they weren't necessarily trying to win in a league where, to be honest, I say about a third of the league is tanking in some form of capacity, right? Like, let's just call it what it is. There's some really bad basketball teams, and the Hawks' schedule just happened to unfold with a bunch of those bad teams. And now, to the Hawks' credit, they've won those games. And I do think there are lessons to be learned in winning, even when you're doing it against bad teams, because there is a such thing as winning basketball. There is a such thing as making the right play at the right time. There is a such thing of like knowing you have to make that defensive rotation at that time. And it's not, it'll be okay if we don't get there that time. Or no, you have to be in position to make that shot in this moment, in this time. It has to go in, right?
Right.
Like playing games that matter, playing games of consequence. I think it matters. I like this team. They're intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're fun to watch. I wish Kuminga could get back healthy. Because I think the Hawks really might have stumbled into something to him. But with Jalen and this whole crew, I mean, they have a defensive stopper. They have an interesting team. And Quinn Snyder is coaching these boys, man. I have to really, again, the Atlanta Hawks as a staff, label, and crew historically have given a lot of reasons to not trust them. But shout out to Jalen Johnson. CJ McCollum has come in good. Like I said, again, I mentioned Dyson Daniels as a defensive guy. I mean, Corey Kesper. I mean, these guys are playing good basketball, and they're playing a fun style of basketball that, again, historically in Atlanta with the Hawks, if they're ever going to do well, they have to be fun, they have to be entertaining, and then they have to win. And I think if you could get that combination of an entertaining team with good personalities, they could do something. Are they going to win the East? Let's not go there. Let's not do all that. But do I think they're building on something? And do I think in a world where teams are just, literally tanking, not trying to win, the Hawks are taking advantage? In the couple games they lost recently was against Boston, but then they came back and beat Sacramento. They're not, the teams they're beating aren't world beaters, but they're winning the games they're supposed to win. Now, I do want to see how they play tonight against the Celtics. That'll be in Atlanta at the Highlight Factory, or I guess whatever they're State Farm, I guess whatever they're calling it these days. But again, if you go back and you look at this this last little stretch here, right? All right. So you start on February 22nd with a win against Brooklyn, back-to-back wins against Washington, another win against Portland, another win against Milwaukee. All right, beating Philly. Okay, that's a decent one. All right, then you go Dallas, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. All right, a decent win against Orlando, another win against Dallas, a loss against Houston, then wins against Golden State, Memphis, and then the Detroit win, the overtime win, where, you do have to mention that Cade Cunningham wasn't in that game. You do have to add that.
Yes.
But again, when I list all those teams they beat, you're not talking about world beaters there that the Hawks are getting these wins over. However, wins are still wins. You take the wins. I like where the Hawks are going. I am cautiously optimistic about the future of the Atlanta Hawks basketball franchise. And I haven't been able to say anything like that in at least 10 years. So, hey, that's a start.
Tobias, I tell you what, we usually break at the bottom of the hour, but I made an executive decision to keep you here because I don't know if we're going to be able to get in touch with you in the next 5 to 7 days because of your world tour. However, with that said, I'm going to mention a couple of names. We've already talked about one in particular with Tiger Woods, but I want to mention these names and this set it up and frame it like this and get your take. Basically, Money Mayweather is going back into the ring after an illustrious, very financial career. Tom Brady has asked for permission to come back and play in the National Football League. And then, of course, Tiger Woods, as great and as wonderful as he has been, but he's a walking wreck, not no pun intended, but they're still playing. Is it for money or is it for the love of the game?
I think everybody's situation is different. I think with Floyd in particular, there have been some rumors that he's got financial issues, and I don't know how true they are. I know that as of now, there has not been any official bankruptcy filing. I don't know the extent, but I don't really know of any successful business ventures he has. Like he had the Mayweather gym that hasn't seemed to do very well. I don't know how many of those are even still open because he opened a bunch of boxing gyms in a world where people just aren't really into boxing like that in that way.
Right.
So I don't know how well those have worked. I don't know if any successful business partnership he has for real, or even like a sponsorship that he has. It's like one of those lifetime deals. So do I think Floyd is like broke? No. Do I think these fights that he's having this year, apparently he's going to box 3 times, including an exhibition against Mike Tyson, which I don't understand why we're doing that, other than it clearly being a cash grab for them. Then he's fighting some kickboxer, and then he's going to try to fight Manny Pacquiao, who actually won a fight recently against a pretty decent contender, and it seems that maybe Manny Pacquiao, I think some of it is, okay, with the 2 exhibition fights, those are clearly money grabs for Floyd. All right? I think with the Manny fight, I think he's maybe seeing a way. Maybe I can sneak in and get me another world title real quick. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And if they're giving it, I'll go take it and get some money and make this happen. With Tom, I just think Tom has a different love for the game, if you will. I think that man, from what it appears he traded his marriage and family to play that last season with Tampa Bay. At least
9-8, by the way, 9-8.
Right. I mean, and look, man. And that gets into a lot of different things that go beyond my level of understanding as a man who's never been married. So whatever. But hey, I think he seems okay with his choice. I don't think he's crying about it. But if he's like, hey, if I could still play, why not? I think for Tom, it's beyond a love of a game as much as it is a love of greatness, a pursuit of greatness, a pursuit of these things. And whether it's fair, whether that's the real reason why his wife left him, you know what I'm saying? Is it the real reason? We don't know that. We don't. Because, again, there are some other factors that play, including the Taekwondo coach, right?
How about Antonio Brown?
Well, yeah. Antonio Brown, now he might need money. He might need some.
Stay with the roster. We didn't finish all 3 guys.
Okay, I'm about to say.
I was talking about Antonio Brown and Giselle. That was the rumor, was that they had something going when Tom Brady was going with his thing his last year. But that's rumor. That's rumor. Go back to the
I'm about to say.
we turned into ET. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say. I thought you meant Antonio Brown trying to play.
In your next life, Thrift, I think that's what you're gonna.
I love
TMZ.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, all right. So I think with Tiger, I think he's bored. I think he needs stuff to do. I mean, no, seriously, man. And DJ, you know this better than most, man, because you played pro football. A lot of athletes have struggled with life after sport, with life after being the man, being the guy. And I think even with that, some of Brady's probably going through that. Like, was he really ready to go home and be a family man, or does he want to be a dude playing football at the highest level where he goes in that locker room and he's respected by everyone? Everyone looks up to him, whereas you go back home and you're just dad. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, not saying being a father and being a husband aren't admirable things. I just don't know if it gives you that same feeling of being the starting quarterback and everyone in that locker room, everyone in that organization huddling around you, looking to you to guide them to their dreams and their goals, and you being someone who carries so much weight and so much respect to coming back to a honeydew list.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, some dudes are locked in and they ready for the honeydew list. Like I feel like DJ is a man who was ready to lock in for. Some other brothers, you know, they struggle with that thing.
It's hard for them to comprehend. Now, I don't know how much I believe with the broke Floyd. He's made $1.6 billion in pay-per-view. His net worth right now is $1.1 billion, but apparently Jason Whitlock is coming out saying that he's broke.
Well, Jason Whitlock says a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to take it with a grain of salt.
I'm about to say Jason Whitlock says all types of stuff.
Are you watching the fight with Manny Pacquiao?
I don't. I mean, if it's on Netflix or something, sure. I mean, I'm not excited about it.
You paying $150 if they
no, not doing
$150 for what? $1.50?
Nah, sir. No.
If they get you for that $150, because I remember McGregor was $100.
I'm not. We ain't paying $5. We're not doing that. Not for that. No. I'm not paying. Now, again, if it's on Netflix or something
That's
I'm already
different.
paying for,
Right.
Sure, I'll put it on and hope that the Netflix stream works. They've had some issues with that stuff. But, yeah, I'm not paying for that. No. Now, would I go to a fight party if some friends were putting something on? Sure. Maybe pay $5 to $10 to hang out with the buddies. Okay, cool. But $150 on my TV at this point in this economy, I don't know. But again, with Floyd, I think if anything, some of this stuff is indicative of the times we're in. I mean, look, how much gas costs right now? Well, depending on where you're at.
Yep.
Okay. These tariffs are having real impact on
no doubt
the cost of goods. For instance, I enjoy Cafe Bustelo coffee. I used to be able to buy the 12-ounce can for $5. I bought a can recently. It's now $8.50. Okay. And it was on
can of coffee.
Right. Can of coffee that used to be like $5. You know what I'm saying? And now it's $8.50, and that has gone up in the last year to that. You know what I'm saying? And that was $8.50 on sale. Okay. So I'm saying all this to say that like costs of things are going up. And I know Floyd got a bunch of money, but you know what people with money like? More money. And I think that Floyd is looking at the landscape, looking at the world. I think some of these other people looking at the landscape in the world and be like, hey, there may not be too many more times to go grab us some money real quick. So let's get on this money grab and store up some bread. That's what I think Floyd is doing. I think Tom thinks he can still do it. And if he can still do it, what else he got to do with his time? And I think that medicine is changing some of this stuff too. I mean, because again, you look at LeBron being the age he is, still playing at such a high level. I mean, again, LeBron today is not one of the top 20 players in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's not gonna make anybody's all NBA team this year. But that he can still contribute at a high level at his age with all the mileage, all the wear and tear, you'd have to think the tread on his tire is pretty,
And don't forget the fact that his ROI, his return on investment, is still pretty damn good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, he's still a very high contributing basketball player, and his knowledge of the game. I mean, again, God bless him. I mean, Kevin Durant's still around. I mean, so you are seeing longer careers just as modern medicine and equipment get better. I mean, shoot, DJ, it wasn't too long ago when guys just have to work second jobs in the offseason when they play in the league. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wasn't very long ago. There are people who are alive who remember those days or experienced that time when you had to have another career. You had to have other things. Sport has changed so much. The investment in sport has changed so much. The investment these guys make in their bodies. And again, I think some of them are a little crazy. And some of them want to keep doing it. And hey, man, if you can, who am I to tell you to stop? Again, with Tiger, I just think Tiger in particular is looking for some way to get some type of good reputation back. And I think he does enjoy golf. I think he does enjoy, being with the boys, but also he's 50. I mean, again, I ain't saying 50 is decrepit. I ain't saying 50 you can't still live a lot of life. I can't say you can't do a lot of things. I just don't know if you could be a pro golfer at 50, especially with all the injuries and everything that's piled up on Tiger. I just don't know if he'll ever be that guy. And I just don't want to I don't want to watch Tiger not be good. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't alive for the end of Willie Mays' career when he was with the Mets stumbling in the outfield. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't alive for that. Or Johnny Unitas finishing his career in other places. You know what I'm saying? Even Michael Jordan's stint with the Wizards was,
Joe Montana with the Chiefs.
Right. Right. Or like, Jerry Rice finishing with the Raiders and the Seahawks and stuff like that. Or Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals. I mean, you go on down the line, man. It just gets to where, man, it looks bad and you don't want to see that guy go out like that. But again, it ain't up to me to tell. It's them, and they get to make those choices. We'll see how it goes for them.
All right, Nubias, with the elevator door closing, who's going to be your NCAA men's and women's basketball champion?
Ooh, I think why not UConn for both?
Hey,
wow,
why not?
That would be fantastic.
Why not? Why not UConn for both? No, seriously, hey, man, why not, man? They
are you good with your coach acting like Dan Hurley does?
I would not want my coach to comport himself that way. However, I do believe there need to be coaches like that. Because we mentioned the personality, right?
You need some of it.
You need some of that, man. You need
we need a villain.
Yeah, like you need that because it's a part of the storytelling. It's a part of the narrative. It's a part of the fabric that makes that sport. Because again, the ball by itself ain't enough.
All right, Nubias, man, I tell you, boy, you've given us enough to run on until the next time we catch up with you.
What an interview.
Hey, man, thank you so much for what you do, and have a great rest of your morning.
Man, thank y'all for the time, man. Always, man.
All right, that's Nubias Wilborn.
Man,
giving it to you
fantastic.
straight, no chaser.
Think about all the topics we just hit right there.
Man, we went
Hawks, Braves.
one side of the field and down the other.
Listen, I'll watch Manny versus Floyd. But if that brother is broke, there's no way. $1 billion? There's no way.
Have you seen his walk around money?
Like,
come on, do you see the stuff that he
there's
just goes and
no
purchases?
way.
I mean, it adds up through. I mean, this guy has.
Maybe you're right. I feel
his
like that's
appetite is extraordinary,
man. But I know Manny wants it. I get Manny wants another payday.
Yeah.
I didn't know Floyd needed after that Logan Powell. But maybe when rich just always want to get richer, man.
Mike Tyson is a guy left off the list who's still out there doing it.
Yeah, he just had a fight too with Logan Paul.
Yeah, still
got paid.
Yeah, and still making money, and because he needs it or because he loves the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Maybe we'll talk about that coming back.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take our final break of the day. You're watching Sports Visions on, actually, Sports Visions Morning Show. I got one of your episodes. I lost my place in my speech.
I do that
You're
all the
watching Facebook Live on YouTube and on, of course, Facebook Live. And you're watching and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. Whatever!
I'll spend my money tonight. I wanna dance tonight. I wanna toast tonight. I'll spend my money tonight. I wanna get freaky tonight. Freaking baby, yeah.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. A Kendrick High School teacher was arrested on multiple counts of theft by deception. Muskogee County School District Police are investigating the situation. The teacher was released from his duties. In LaGrange, a 67-year-old man was airlifted to a nearby Columbus hospital after he was severely injured in a fight on 121 Turner Street. The LaGrange Police Department is urging anyone with information on the incident to contact them. Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals has upheld the conviction and death sentence of Jeremy Williams, who was found guilty in the 2021 murder of 5-year-old Kamari Holland. Now that Williams' first appeal is complete, the case could quickly move to the Alabama Supreme Court if the order is final. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Monday morning. We are off to a partly cloudy and mild start with those temperatures hovering right around 60 degrees. We are tracking a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the afternoon with those high temperatures approaching 80 degrees. Now, tonight, the clouds will stick around, partly cloudy and mild with those low temperatures falling to about 60 again. We are tracking some warmer temperatures this week as temperatures climb in the mid-80s. We're also introducing a few showers and storms, especially later this week.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Attorney advertising. Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dogs does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
You say you hate these commercials. Get into an accident. I bet you won't hate these commercials no more. I bet you be saying call the dog. You know why? Because you know that dog bite. That's why. You really love the commercials. Tell the truth. You be in the car and your kids be like, turn it up, Mom. What you gonna do if that dog chase you? What you gonna do, Mom? He gonna bite, Mom. He gonna bite. Now you sitting there nodding your head to it like, top dog, top dog, top dog law. Then you go home and write a post about us. Say you hate those commercials. How could you? How dare you? What you wanted some attention? Any accident, make the call. Top dog law.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
It's springtime and a perfect time for you to visit Gory's luxurious outdoor patio. Now, this is not your average big box store outdoor furniture. This will last you season after season after season. Sofas, love seats, and outdoor recliners. Come see it for yourself, and that's only at Gory's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021.
800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
You're home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on SportsVisions 92.1. Now back to the SportsVisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer.
Respect you like a lover. Oh, 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 oh.
Bet that never
Oh,
gotta sweat. Bet that never
Welcome back to the final segment of the SportsVisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Behringer in the building. It's been a memorable Monday, Thrift. And boy, I tell you what, I've had some fun this morning on the radio with our guest.
Yeah, we have, man. The bias. Holy smokes.
The bias, like I said, man, you know what? You could just put your pedal to the metal. You don't even have to put your hands on the steering wheel because he's gonna steer it.
Let him go.
And let him go. Let him go. And you know what? I enjoy it because, again, those takes that he has are fresh, they're original, and they're realistic. And these are the things that people are talking about out amongst the national and local and regional media.
The thing I love about Nabias is he's not watching national media regurgitating what he heard or saw on TV. Be yourself.
Yes.
But if you don't love yourself, DJ,
That's right.
you don't know how to be yourself.
Right.
And then you're lost.
Yep.
And that's one thing I've had to learn how to do over the years is learn how to love me. That doesn't mean I'm narcissistic. If that's what you want to think, that's on you.
If you don't love you, who's going to love you?
And how are you going to find peace? And if your peace is relying on someone else to tell you good job, someone else to love you, your girlfriend, how are you going to be happy? I've had to learn to work on that. You got to love yourself. And if you don't do that, how are you ever going to have confidence in yourself?
And just being total transparent, especially talking about new bias, I want you guys to know that I don't give him a cheat sheet or a list of questions that I'm going to ask. This is come from the hip, man. I mean, what you have to do in this business.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to do research, but it's a lifestyle. You have to wake up in the morning wanting to know what's going on. You have to wake up and go to bed at night with something on your mind. And when you're doing a show like this, it comes out naturally because it's a part of what we are. It's a fabric of who we are. And that's why, again, all I do is book new bias and say, hey, look, I got your book. And then boom, I spit the questions. He comes out with his answers and it's real. And the same here with us, Thrift. And those of us that can do that, it's a gift. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's a passion more so.
Yeah, definitely a passion, ability to be able to come in. The gift of gab is what they like to say.
The gift of gab is a little bit, I don't think I take it as serious. I mean, I know what you mean, but when people say not a gift of gab, it's a gift.
Yeah.
It's not gab. It's just a gift to be able to talk sports.
Yeah.
Or for that matter, a whole lot of other, situations and circumstances.
Yeah, I'm with you, DJ. And I do want to put a PSA out there for everyone. When you get an opportunity to be able to brighten yourself and be better, don't ever think you're too big for anybody or anyone. For me to sit here and think if I removed myself, SportsVisions wouldn't go on. They were going for 15 years before I started, DJ. I was still, when you started with Dale in the 6th grade, 2004.
Yeah.
I would not ever think if you walk out, it's not going to work. So when you get an opportunity to be with someone, don't ever start feeling yourself, start smelling yourself, because that's where issues lie. And I've never been that way, DJ. I've never been the type that starts feeling myself in that way. It's okay to have confidence, but then when you start acting like you're too good for someone or too good for something, that's just never been my mindset.
Yeah, but at the same time, Thrift, there's also a maturity to success. I mean, everybody can't handle success, and you heard this more than
I've heard it from you all the time, man.
This microphone and that red light on the camera will make a fool of you. It'll make an idiot because, again, it takes you to another level. And if you hadn't had any experiences with success, some people just can't handle it. I mean, you go from being a nobody to somebody. and all of a sudden people know your name and you're talking about you and they want to take pictures and selfies with you. And, whatever level it might be. And again, that means absolutely nothing if you can't handle it.
Yeah, you got to be exactly right, DJ. And also, those are short-lived. Those little pat on the back, DJ, they don't pay the bills.
Yep.
Those little pat on the backs will only last for a little bit. And if that's what you rely on your happiness with, I had to learn that because I like being noticed. I like someone telling me I did a good job. But I realize if that is the only reason I'm doing this, well, I'm going to have a tough time being happy, DJ.
You're right. You're absolutely
right. And especially when I'm giving someone else the power that they know I'm relying on them to be happy. Of course, they're going to take and abuse that sometimes. We're human beings. Don't ever let anyone have that power over you.
And those pats on the back, man, let me tell you something. They're only good as weight. They're good as weight. What do you call it? Worth is waiting and saying. It's nothing. That same pat on the back, you let yourself slip, or that person that's patting you on the back, and you look over your shoulder and find out where they are. They won't even be in the rearview mirror.
Let you get in trouble. They're going to be the first one to point at you.
You don't even have to go
not even in trouble.
You don't have to go in trouble.
Right.
You just fall off any kind of way, whether it's monetarily or whether it's just a bad take.
Yeah,
a bad take. In this business, you can say the wrong thing out of your mouth and supposedly piss off somebody.
They'll throw you under the bus, man.
Throw you under the bus, but you keep a level head. You know who you are. Believe in what you believe in. Again, and just always treat people like you want to be treated.
No doubt about it, man. And I think that is awesome. So I think we had a fantastic show, DJ.
I do too. I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. I know that we got the Clinkstones Media Day tomorrow, and of course, opening day for them on Friday. We're going to do something collaborative with SportsVisions and Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know last year we went Media Day. We did a stand-up down there, and we introduced, or at least we interviewed about a dozen people or so. But the bottom line is, you know what? It's baseball season, and we are looking forward to helping the Clinkstones kick it off.
Yeah, we are, and I'm looking forward to being a media day tomorrow, DJ, and then how about opening day? Holy smokes, it's already here. Year number 2 is about to get started.
Can you imagine the amount of media that's going to be included now? Last year was one thing. It's going to probably multiply this year.
Yeah, it is going to be tenfold, and I cannot wait to see what the impact's going to be this Friday night.
All right, Monday's show is in the books, and you hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift Behringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I find you, I gave you all you